Hello and welcome back out to another glorious day for Mariners baseball. This time we are live from Flat Rock, Michigan in the home of the Lake Erie Monarchs as they host your Grand Lake Mariners for the first of a two-game series here in Flat Rock. Mariners are 1-1 against this Monarchs team this season. They split the series that was down in Salina in Mariners territory. Mariners walked away with a victory in the first one, and then they fell in that second one. And that was the start of a 7-game skid that the Mariners are currently a part of right now. But it is a brand new day. The sun is shining with the clouds just ever so slightly wisping across the sky. And we've got another great day for Mariners baseball as they try to get back to their winning ways. Live from Flat Rock, Michigan, I am Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, getting ready to bring you all that play-by-play for Mariners Monarchs. I will step aside, and when I return, I'll have the national anthem, the starting lineups, and the play-by-play. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
National Anthem, Star Spangled Banner, live from Flat Rock, Michigan, and Mariners Monarchs live here on the Mariners Media Network, getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners for this summer of 2018. Mariners coming today with a overall record of 15-20. That is for 7th in the Northern Division. One spot above them are the 16-19 the Lake Erie Monarchs. Again, they are 16-19 for 6th in the Northern Division, one game ahead of the Mariners. We'll go ahead and get you those starting lineups now. First for your Grand Lake Mariners. Blake Crossing, the shortstop, will be leading it off, followed by Evan Spry, first baseman. Batting third will be Chris Myers, the designated hitter. Tyson Hayes, the catcher, batting cleanup here today. Jake McCall, the third baseman, batting fifth. Sixth will be Van Acker, the second baseman. Stephen Fitzsimmons, the the left fielder, center field today, will be batting seventh. Eighth will be the left fielder, Joshua Riggs, and then right fielder, R.J. Williams, will be in that final spot in the lineup. The starting pitcher for the day for the Lake Erie Monarchs will be number 32, Logan Schmidt, the starting righty And then Schmidt stepping in again. Logan Schmidt with a record of 1-2 on the season. This will be his 5th start and 7th total appearance. He is 1 for 2 with a 5.62 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 5 extra base hits, 22 punch-outs to 16 walks. He is from Bolingbrook, Illinois, and he attends Miami of Ohio. For the Red Hawks this past season, he just had 1 appearance, only won a third of an inning with a 27 ERA. That was just in his freshman season. Lots of room for improvement, and now he steps on here for Blake Crossing, the switch-hitting man from Dartmouth. Blake Crossing will be batting left here against the righty. He wears number 10, comes in today with a .320 batting average with a .384 on-base percentage from Newman, Georgia, and Dartmouth College. First pitch to him is off the bat. It'll go foul down the left field line and out of play. There's a set of bleachers down there on the left field line. Count 0-1 here to Crossing. Mariners are in the first base dugout just to my right, and to the left of me is the third base dugout. Crossing will foul this one back and out of play, or correction, back and towards the backstop. Count now goes 0-2 to Crossing. Monarchs are in the left field bullpen and third base dugout. It's about 375 straight away center, 325. Crossing gets a high outside fastball. 1-2 now. The count goes to him. 325 down the left field line, and down the right field line it is 315, so a little bit asymmetrical, but not drastically like we saw in Cincinnati, where it was about 300 down one line and about 280 or so down the other. Crossing takes outside again. The count evens up now at 2-2 to the leadoff man, Blake Crossing. Again, he bats left here against the right-hander. He steps back in. Logan Schmidt delivers the 2-2 pitch off the bat of Crossing. This one looks like it'll get into the gap down to left field, and it will for a single, a leadoff single for Crossing, and the Mariners get the first hit on the first batter.
The first baseman, number 42.
Shortstop Lambo tried to make a play on that one. He did get his glove to it, but it just rolled by. It'll be ruled a base hit. Set that defense now here behind Schmidt. It'll be Schwarzenberger out in left, O'Laughlin in center, Andrew Dyke in right. Caleb Belgard will be on at third base. At shortstop, it is Alex Lambo. Prater, the second baseman. Here comes the first pitch to Evan Spry, who now steps in, batting left here against Schmidt. Casey Slattery on first base, and then Mazer will be doing the catching. 1-0 count as that one bounced out in front of the plate. Schmidt now gathers and actually throws back to first here. Crossing gets back standing. Count holds at 1-0. Spry, wearing number 42, playing first base today from Janesville, Wisconsin, attends Creighton University. He hits .265 with a .380 on-base percentage. Here comes the 1-0. It's outside, 2-0. Count 2-0 to Evan Spry. Nobody out. Runner on first. No score here in the top half of the first. 2-0 pitch is a good take there by Spry. Once again, it's off the plate. Count goes 3-0. Spry has himself a very, very favorable hitter's count. We'll see what he gets here. We'll see how he also chooses to go at the 3-0 pitch. But before we get that, it'll be thrown back to first there. Count holds at 3-0 as Crossing gets back in safely. Spry steps back in. Schmidt steps back on. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It'll be called a strike on the outside part of the plate. Count goes 3-1. I'm just off the center of the plate, just a little bit to the right of it. Right up against the fence. Got a table set up here with an extension cord and a power strip. 3-1 pitch here to Spry is a cut on and miss. Count runs full now at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes here. The top half of the first. Flat Rock, Michigan, where it is currently 80 degrees and cloudy, which feels good when there's no sun beating on me. 3-2 pitch is off the bat of Spry, and this one will get into right field for a single. Crossing's going to round second and head to third, where they will hold him up there. He goes in sliding. It'll be a single for Evan Spry. Back-to-back singles for the Mariners. Well, I did mention at the top of the broadcast, they are currently on a 7-game skid. They are trying to get back into that winning column and a much-needed win. And they look like they're dealing and wheeling, trying to get to that here now, as they hit the ground running on the first 2 batters. That now brings up Chris Myers, the designated hitter, hitting .322 with a .388 on-base percentage. Man who attends the University of Toledo. He's from Miamisburg, Ohio. And the first pitch to him is popped out of play. Count will go 0-1. As I was saying, it's 80 degrees here in Flat Rock. Cloudy, no rain expected to come here today, nor is there going to be tomorrow. Feels like 83, a small breeze out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour, 65% humidity. Throwback to first, Spry dives in there in time. Runners at the corners for the Mariners, an 0-1 count here for Myers, and no score in the top of the first. But the Mariners are threatening with nobody out. And the go-ahead run, just 90 feet away. Throw back to first again. Spry dives back in there safely. We'll hold at 0-1. Schmidt gathers, checks back, and the 0-1 pitch finally is bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by Mazer. The count will run even at 1-1. Logan Schmidt, the Bolingbrook, Illinois native. Certainly not the start he wanted, but he's still in control of this one. 1-1 pitch will be outside. That is and high. That has been kind of his issue, though, now, and the early goings of this one anyway. Is just throwing a little bit offside, outside. This one just a little bit high. Count runs 2-1 to Myers. Of course, it is early in this ballgame. Sometimes pitchers just need an inning to get their arm warmed up. We'll see how that continues to develop. Outside pitch now at 3-1. Count runs 3-1 to DH Chris Myers. Schmidt is wearing a red glove, and I mean red. We've seen in the past in all levels where that red glove is sometimes called. Outside pitch will walk the bases full with nobody out. Chris Myers will take a walk as he looks at a high fastball there. The bases are loaded for the Mariners here with nobody out in the top half of the first. Mazer's going to go ahead and talk to Schmidt. As I was saying, though, we've seen where sometimes that red glove, teams will complain about a red glove and say it's too bright, and sometimes make them get rid of the red glove, switch it out, but I see no problem with a red glove. I mean, it is what it is. It's just red. And so now Tyson Hayes, the catcher, will now step in, whereas number 16 hits .273 with a .351 on-base percentage. He takes strike one right there. It's 0-1 to Hayes. Doing the catching duties here. He played in both games of the designated doubleheader. He was the DH in Game 2 after he caught in the first game. In the first game, he was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's high. Ball 1. 1-1 now the count goes. And then the second game against the Clippers on Sunday, he DH'd. He was 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Not at all in all, not a bad day. And the DH, he's going to pop this one sky high. It will go out, and so Blake Crossing, as this one lands in center field, Blake Crossing will tag and go. Here comes the throw to a plate. What a throw. But Crossing will get in just in time. Wow. What a throw by the center fielder in O'Laughlin. But Crossing does cross the plate and get the first run aboard. So it'll be an RBI sac fly by Hasten. And so 1-0 Mariners on top here in the top half of the first. There is one away. Runners at first and second. And the Mariners will play from in front. Jake McCall, the third baseman, will now step in. McCall hitting .281 with a .453 on-base percentage. Attends Illinois State. He is from Bloomington, Illinois. Check back to second here from Schmidt before the delivery. Off the bat of McCall. It's a high fly ball out to center field. This one going back at the fence and dropping behind it. Say goodbye, Blake. Jake McCall will get himself his second home run of the season. It'll be RBIs number 21, 22, and then 23, rounds third. What a drill there on the first pitch by Jake McCall. A 3-run homer. The Mariners now up 4-0 in the top half of the first inning. First pitch, and McCall went yard. Straight away to center. Again, .375. Went over, and it's out of here. So Mariners up 4-0 on 4 hits. Or correction, on 3 hits. Here comes now Van Acker with 1 out. He cuts and misses on the first pitch. Acker playing second base here today. He hits .169 with a .291 on-base percentage. He's from Eaton Rapids, Michigan, and Alma College. That one's low, ball 1. Count evens up now at 1-1 to Acker, the right-handed batter. Schmidt delivers the 1-1 pitch. This one's inside. Count goes now 2-1. Two-one pitch here to right-handed Acker is delivered from Schmidt. High off the bat, it'll go out of play. They'll foul. Count evens up now at 2-2. One out. Nobody aboard at a 4-0 ball game after the 3-run homer by Jake McCall brings up Van Acker. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. He'll cut down and miss, and he will be the first strikeout of the day for Schmidt. 2 outs, nobody aboard, 4-0 the score as Steven Fitzsimmons, the center fielder, comes in. Left-handed batter, hitting .145 with a .319 on-base percentage. He is from Golden Valley, Minnesota, and he attends Valparaiso, where he just finished his sophomore season, and he's a business management major. First pitch to him, outside, ball 1. Mariners in their road blues. 1-0 pitch to Fitzsimmons is fouled off right to the screen. Count goes even at 1-1. Again, Mariners in their road blues with the white trim and green numbers and letters. For the Monarchs, here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, ball 2, 2-1. For the Monarchs, it is their pinstripe jerseys, but it's really more of a two-piece jersey where it's the vest and then a navy blue sleeve. This one is grounded down the third base line, caught by the third baseman on the roll. Bellegarde throws it across to first base Slattery, and that will retire the side 5-3, but not before the Mariners get 4 runs on 3 hits, most of them coming from Jake McCaw's 3-run homer on the first pitch. No errors, no men left aboard. We will now head to the bottom half of the first. Mariners up 4-0. We'll talk about the starting lineup for the Monarchs and the starting pitcher for the Mariners when we return. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Flat Rock, Michigan. Tonight, the site for today's matchup between the Grand Lake Mariners and the Lake Erie Monarchs. Mariners up 4-0 thanks to an RBI sacrifice fly from Tyson Hayes and a 3-run homer from Jake McCaw. Blake Crossing and Evan Spry also collecting hits in that inning. The starting lineup for the Monarchs looks like this. Caleb Bellegarde, the third baseman, will be leading off. Will Prater, the second baseman, will be batting second. Third will be Alex Lambo, the shortstop. Robert Bell will be DHing, doing the cleanup duties, followed by Andrew Dyke, the right fielder. Griffin Mazer, the catcher, batting seventh. Eighth will be the first baseman, Casey Slattery. And then Zach Schwarzenberger, the left fielder, will be batting ninth. Starting pitcher for the Mariners here today will be Josh Courier, a starting lefty. Courier, wearing number 23, in his sixth start and 7th overall appearance, has a 5.06 ERA, 26 2/3 innings pitched, 5 extra base hits, which includes a home run, punched out 23 batters, and walked 12. He is from McKenna, Illinois, and he attends Valparaiso. He'll be now getting ready for his first pitch against the right-handed batting Caleb Bellegarde, third baseman. Bellegarde steps in, Courier steps on. And we are ready to go. And the first pitch, off the bat, high fly ball out into right field. R.J. Williams goes back to the fence and makes the catch. One pitch, one out. On the F9 there, that'll bring up Will Prater, the second baseman. Wearing number 5. He is from Dallas, Georgia. He attends Western Carolina, where he just finished his freshman season. He hits .313 with a .378 on-base percentage. He'll be batting left here. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. With one out, nobody aboard, 4-0 in favor of the Mariners in the bottom half of the first. Outside ball 1. Again, Will Prater certainly up there in the batting average department, as that one outside corner at the knees. Great pitch there by Courier. Count evens up now at 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On the outside of the plate, it'll catch. Now it's 1-2. Courier has got some really good stuff in the pitching department that, of course, is given by the 23 punch-outs on the season and only 12 walks. Doesn't give up a lot of home runs either. His primary issue has been singles and going too late into ball games. Now here comes a good swing and a miss on the bouncer. On the curveball there. Got away from the catcher Hayes, but the throw over down completes the strikeout. First strikeout of the day will get Will Prather out. It's quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Mariners. And not to say a Courier doesn't have any stamina. He just, sometimes he gets put out there maybe an inning longer than he should be, but he still goes out there and delivers day for each start he has. 2 outs, nobody aboard. That brings up Alex Lambo, who takes low and in the dirt, ball 1. Lambo, the shortstop, wearing number 3 from Seattle, Washington. Loyola Marymount, business management major in his sophomore season, hits .289 with a .354 on-base percentage this year for the Monarchs. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Now it's 2-0. So that one misses off the plate. Interesting that he was showing bunt, not your typical speed runner. Only 2 stolen bases on the season, though. This isn't a team that certainly shows like they like to run a lot. This one will be fouled off. Back to the first base dugout. Now the count goes to 2-1. Swinging away there was Lambo. Perhaps the bunt was just kind of a try to catch him off guard move. But with Tyson Hayes behind the plate there, you don't want to challenge that arm. If he gets to it, he can throw it anywhere in a hurry. It's a 2-1 count now here to Lambo. Courier delivers, tapped back to the mound. Running in is Van Acker, the second baseman, to throw over to first in time. 4-3, and they go in order for the Monarchs here in this one. 3 up, 3. Grand Lake Mariners baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Logan Schmidt returns back out to the mound here for the top half of the second. The Mariners on top of the Lake Erie Monarchs 4-0. They've done that on 3 hits they've held. As we now head to the top half of the second, Riggs, Williams, and Crossing 2 up for the Mariners. Again, the 4 runs for the Mariners coming off of a sacrifice RBI fly by Tyson Hayes and a 3-run homer by Jake McCaw. Speaking of home runs, here comes Josh Riggs, who has 3 of them on the year. He'll be batting right here, as always. Playing left field, he's played left field a lot lately. Also listed as a pitcher for this team, inside and a little bit high, ball 1. Also listed as a pitcher for this team, he has done some pitching as well, but primarily due to the injury woes the Mariners have faced here. This one will be smacked and right to the second baseman, who just has to scuttle over a little bit. And so now, on the P4 there, 1 up, 1 down, as R.J. Williams, the right fielder, steps in. As I was saying, though, about Riggs, he has pitched as well. It's been 5 appearances and 4 starts. It's been a while since we've seen him pitch, though, primarily because he's been needed in the outfield. Injury woes for the Mariners this season have cut their outfield reserves short. R.J. Williams, left-handed batter, takes outside on the corner, strike 1. R.J. Williams, whereas number 4 from Pickerington, Ohio. He attends Bowling Green State University, shows bunts, puts it down nicely. He runs down the line. Here comes the throw from the third baseman. Not in time. Great play there by R.J. Williams. He can make that bunting play work if they're not expecting it, and they were not. He'll get the infield single. It was a good throw there, by the way, by Bellegarde to Slattery, but just not in time with R.J. Williams with the hustle down the line. With 1 out, he gets aboard for Blake Crossing. 1 for 1 on the day with a single to lead off the game for the Mariners. 4-0 Mariners on top now on 4 hits, 1 out. As Crossing puts this one high in foul territory, going out of play on the left field side. Count goes 0-1. Blake Crossing again hitting .320 with a .384 on-base percentage coming into today. Dartmouth man switch hitter who will be batting left here against the righty. We'll also see with R.J. Williams only 1 stolen base. We'll also see if they decide to run with him. And a throw back. Almost gets R.J., but he slides back in there safely. He'll just get his uniform a little bit dirty. That's all part of baseball, dusty uniforms. 0-1 count, throw back to first again. This one's a little bit higher, and R.J. dives back in there safely. And R.J. Williams only with 1 stolen base on the season, but it's primarily been lack of base running aggression more than anything. Here comes the grounder right to second, flipped over to the shortstop, covering at second for 1. No chance at the double play, though, with Blake Crossing's hustle. It'll be a fielder's choice, 4-6.
The first baseman, number 42, Evan Spry, number 42.
Blake Crossing with the hustle down the line prevented the double play, but the leading runner is erased. And now the 1-for-1 Evan Spry, first baseman, will now step in. He came around to score on that 3-run homer by Jake McCall, of course. First pitch to him is popped high, back and out of play. Count will go 0-1 to Evan Spry, of course, wearing the infamous 42, made famous by Jackie Robertson. Hits .265 coming into the day with a .380 on-base percentage. 0-1 pitch to him. Just a little bit off the plate, ball 1. 1-1, the count evens up here. 4-0. Mariners on top here in the top half of the second. 2 outs, runner at first. Here comes the pitch. Taken low there by Spry. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Not much of a breeze whatsoever to speak of here. The flag out in center field. The American flag is moving slightly, but it's not really moving fast. Here comes a grounder here to second. Taking it by himself will be the shortstop, actually, in Lambeau. He'll step on second to eliminate the runner, and the side is retired. Well, top half of the second, Mariners get a base hit, but no runs score, no errors, and no men left on. We will now head to the bottom half of the second. Mariners on top, 4-0 for the Monarchs. The middle third of the order, Robert Bell, Andrew Dyke, and Sean O'Laughlin due up. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We now come back out for the bottom half of the second. Mariners on top, 4-0 on 4 hits. No hits from their opponents. Robert Bell, the DH, will be leading it off for the Monarchs live here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, bringing you all the play-by-play for the game here between the Mariners and the hometown Monarchs. Coming on now, number 6, Robert Bell doing the DHing here today, hitting .284 with a .422 on-base percentage, takes low, ball 1. Bell from Palm Coast, Florida, attends Bethune-Cookman College, where he just finished his freshman season. Courier delivers the 1-0 pitch, just a little bit low and outside, ball 2. Count evens up now at 2-0. Or correction, the count is at 2-0. Courier looks in for his sign from Hayes, the catcher. Here's the defense here behind Courier, by the way, as the 2-0 pitch is delivered. Just a little bit off the plate, I guess. Count will go 3-0. Riggs is out in left field. Stephen Fitzsimmons in center. And in right, it's R.J. Williams. 3-0 pitch here from Courier. Called strike 1 right there on the inside of the plate. Catching. Count will go 3-1. At third base, it is Jake McCall. Blake Crossing playing shortstop. Van Acker is on second base. Evan Spry on first base. And Tyson Hayes doing the catching. Ball 4 is delivered low there. It'll be a leadoff walk for Robert Bell, the designated hitter. I'll bring up Andrew Dyke, the right fielder here today for the Monarchs. He'll be batting right.
From the University of Illinois Champaign, the right fielder, number 4, Andrew Dyke.
He steps in a 4-0 ball game. Mariners on top here. Leadoff walk for Courier to try to pitch around though. For Dyke, wearing number 4, comes in with a .271 on-base percentage. He cuts and misses there on that one. Again, .271 batting average with a .395 on-base percentage. He attends Illinois, University of Illinois of Champaign, which is the main campus of Illinois. He attends Alsip, Illinois. Here comes the throw down to first from Courier. Not in time. The count 0-1 here to Dyke, the right fielder, batting right here. Mariners on top, of course, 4-0. Check back to first before Courier delivers the 0-1 pitch just off the plate. Outside, ball 1. Count evens up at 1-1. So 1-1 count. Runner on first and no outs. Courier checks back to first, delivers. Just outside. Ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Courier will looking for his sign. Steps on, checks back to first. And the 2-1 pitch. Nope, just kidding. It's going to be thrown down to first. Getting back in time will be Robert Bell. By the way, the DH Robert Bell with only 1 stolen base on the season. Gets his lead again as Courier steps back on. Throws back to first again. And he will be back just in time. Still 2-1 count. We await the 4th pitch here to Dyke. Courier will check back to first again and throw back to first. Courier will step back on, look for a sign as Dyke steps back in. And checks back to first. And the 2-1 pitch is delivered. Outside, 3-1. After Dyke cuts and misses on the first pitch, it's been 3 straight balls to come back. All the pitches, though, have been in that same spot right there on the outside of the plate. This one will be ball 4 as it misses again on the outside of the plate. Back-to-back walks here to begin the bottom half of the second. See what Courier's trying to do, trying to find that edge of the plate there, get that outside corner at the knees out to those right-handed batters. He got Dyke to chase once, but he took the next 4. So runner on first and second, nobody out after a couple of walks for the Monarchs. We'll bring up Sean O'Laughlin, center fielder, wearing number 33, hitting .261 with a .350 on-base percentage. First pitch to him, a little bit low and inside, ball 1. O'Laughlin from Glen Ellen, Illinois. He attends Northwestern, one of a couple Big Ten players on this roster. Comes the 1-0 pitch. This one will catch the corner at the knees. Strike 1. Count evens up now 1-1. There's a good pitch from Courier. Runner on first and second. 4-0 ball game. Mariners on top. 1-1 the count. Here comes the delivery. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Sean O'Laughlin coming in today, hitting .261 with a .350 on-base percentage for the Monarchs. The 2-1 pitch is grounded here to first. Spry will take it himself, spin it over to second for one. It actually is overthrown. Blake crossing, it'll end up in left field. That'll allow a run to score as Robert Bell crosses the plate. He will score on the error. Saw Spry was trying to turn a double play by going to second and then back, but instead Sean O'Laughlin will reach on the E3 there, and the run will score on the E3, so that run should and will be unearned. 4-1 now the ball game here. Still no hits for the Monarchs yet. A couple of walks and then the E3 are how they've gotten things rolling here in the bottom half of the second. First pitch to Mazer. The catcher is an outside, but delivered right there on the plate. So catching the outside edge of the plate now. 0-1, strike one called. Mazer hitting .259 with a .400 on-base percentage. He's from Moore Park, California. He sends California Irvin. He pops this one sky high, foul territory down the first base line, and it gets out of play towards the bleachers that are over there with nobody sitting in them. Count goes 0-2 here quickly to Mazer, right-handed batting catcher. To count. Courier checks back to second before delivering. Pops sky high again. It'll go back and out of play. Actually towards the, I believe it's a softball field behind me. So count holds it 0-2 here to Mazer. By the way, has 9 RBIs on the season with a runner in scoring position. Might be trying to drive in number 10. Nobody out here. Runners on first and second. 0-2 count here to Mazer is delivered. Strike 3 called right there at the top of the zone. It'll be the second strikeout of the day for Courier, and there's now one away. Runner on first and second. 4-1 ball game.
First baseman, number 44.
Runner on second is Andrew Dyke, the right fielder. Sean O'Laughlin reached on the E3. Stands on first. For Slattery comes in today hitting .103 with a .257 on-base percentage. From Los Angeles, California. He attends California, Berkeley. He got a 1-0 count here from Courier. Runner on first and second, 1 out, 4-1 ball game. 1-0 pitch. Just a little bit high and outside, ball 2. One of the first curveballs we see there from Courier, who's going to step off the mound now and go again for his signs. He's going to give second base a long stare down where Dyke stands right now before he steps back on. For Dyke, he has no stolen bases on the season, but you never know when a guy might try to run. Here comes the 2-1 count. Just a little bit low, I'm guessing. 3-0. 3-0 count. 4-1 ball game. 3-0 count. 4-1 ball game. Mariners still on top here in the bottom half of the second. Runner on first and second, 1 out, as Slattery, the first baseman, is at the plate. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to him. Low and inside, ball 4. That is the third walk of the inning issued here by Courier. It's a couple of leadoff ones. Then the error allowed the first run to score. And now the bases are full with 1 out for Zach Schwarzenberger. Zach Schwarzenberger, the left fielder, stepping in. Here's some scores from around the Great Lakes Summer League. Saginaw beat the Richmond Jazz 7-6 earlier today. Clippers on top of the Locos 4-0 in the top of the second. This one is grounded right to Crossing, who fumbles it, and it will end out in center field. That'll allow 1 to score. Here comes Sean O'Laughlin. He will cross the plate at, and so now it's a 4-3 ball game on an E6 there. So an E6 there, the second error of the inning, and there's yet to be a base hit in this inning, yet 3 runs have scored. 3 walks and 2 errors have done all the damage, as that one took a weird hop on Crossing. It's 4-3 now, 1 out, runner on second and first. Just a little bit outside, ball 1. 1-0 now here to Caleb Bogard, flew out to right on his first pitch. His first time up back at the bottom of the first. Settlers and Steams tied Settler and Steam tied at nothing in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, Copperhead's on top, 1-0 over the Graders. This is high foul and out of play down the first baseline. Count goes even now at 1-1 to Bellegarde. Green Giants on top, 6-0 over the Leprechauns in the bottom of the first. At home, the Green Giants are, and in the bottom of the first, in Xenia, the Scouts lead, as the Scouts have a 0-0 ball game against the Joes. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This one will be fouled straight back to the screen by Bellegarde. Count goes 1-2. Here in the bottom half of the second, 4-3 ball game. One out, runner on second is Casey Slattery. Runner on first is Zach Schwarzenberger. 1-2 count. Courier delivers. High fly ball. And coming over is Spry. He will complete the catch. Infield fly rule is in effect. And so there's now 2 outs as a sky-high pop will bring up Will Prater. He struck out swinging. He was the first of 2 strikeout victims in this game for Courier. Bottom of the second, 4-3. Mariners on top. 2 outs, runner on second and first. 4 hits for the Mariners and no hits for the Monarchs. Here comes the first pitch to Prater, the left-handed batter. It looks like he might have been showing bunt, but never really got it fully front. That's low and outside, ball 1. Again, Prater struck out swinging his only time up here today. Left-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher, so lefty-lefty matchup here in a 4-3 ball game. Runner on first and second. Courier checks back to second and delivers the 1-0 pitch. It's low, ball 2. As Courier steps back on, he'll look for his sign here. He'll gather his pitch. And the 2-0 pitch. Off the bat here, it's a line drive into center field. Rounding, and they'll hold him up. Actually, at third will be Slattery. Not a lot of speed for the first baseman. And they'll hold him up at first. But once again, the bases are loaded here with 2 outs. It'll be a single for Prater. He is now 1 for 2 and brings up an 0 for 1 man. Alex Lambeau grounded to second his last time up. Back in the first inning. This will be the 9th batter of the inning for the Monarchs here, as it is a 4-3 ball game. By the way, that single was the first base hit of the game for the Monarchs. Courier looks in for his sign, gets it. It's a left-hander on the mound, right-hander at the plate. Low and inside, ball 1. Will Prater again grounded out as part of a 1-2-3 first inning for the Monarchs. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to him. Just a little bit low, ball 2. 2-0 count now here to Lambeau. Lambeau attend Loyola Marymount as freshman season just finished this past spring. There's a strike right there at the high corner inside. Good pitch there by Courier. He gets a 2-1 count now here to Prater. Correction to Lambeau, who at college his freshman season had 13 appearances and 6 starts. He hit .296 with 5 RBIs and a .296 on-base percentage. This pitch to him will get away from Hayes, and they're going to hold up Slattery. Again, I mentioned Slattery, not a lot of speed out there on the bags, which is why he sits at third instead of coming across the plate to tie the game. On that last single, he holds up at third, but the count now 3-1 as Lambeau steps on. Lambeau with 18 RBIs on the season. Could get number 19 here. Here comes a 3-1 pitch to him. 3-2, and the count now full as that one catches the outside of the plate. Great pitch there by Courier, trying to get himself out of a bases-loaded jam. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Again, they are all aboard. Runners go. This one will be tapped down the third base line, but it'll say it will go foul first. So we'll hold at a full count. Said it must have gone off of his front foot. So it's a 3-2 count, 2 outs, 4-3 ball game. Bases loaded here in the bottom half of the second. Mariners have 4 hits, only 1 hit for their opponents. Again, 2 outs. Courier will deliver the next payoff pitch as he checks in for his sign. And the second payoff pitch, low and inside. That'll be ball 4. We are now tied at 4-4 on the RBI walk. Lambeau's 19th RBI of the season. That will now bring up Robert Bell. He walked to lead off this inning. He now comes up for his second plate appearance of the inning. Base is still loaded as we are tied at 4 here in the bottom half of the second. 2 outs. First pitch. Right there on the inside corner at the D. Strike 1. 0-1 here to Robert Bell, who came around to score on the throwing error by Evan Spry at the O'Laughlin at-bat. It's an 0-1 count, though, now here to Bell. He gets his next pitch. It's a little bit inside. Ball 1. 1-1 now, the count even. Again, 4-4 here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Mariners tied with the Lake Erie Monarchs. A big cut and miss there by Bell. The count now 1-2. One-two count. Courier looks in for his sign. He will gather and deliver. We a high fly ball out into left field, but making the catch will be Riggs to retire the side. The Monarchs bat around. They get 4 runs on just 1 base hit. There's a couple of errors and 3 men left aboard. But we are tied now at 4-4 as we head to the top half of the third. For the Mariners due up, it will be Chris Myers, Tyson Hayes, and Jake McCall. You're listening to Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back out to Flat Rock, Michigan. Mariners tied in a 4-4 ball game here with the Monarchs. On the road, the Mariners are. They took a 4-0 lead in the top half of the first due to a sacrifice fly and a 3-run homer. And then they bat around in the bottom half of the second. 4 walks, a couple of errors, and a single. Give you 4 runs in the bottom half of the second. We are now tied at 4 as Chris Myers at DH for the day takes strike 1 there. 0-1 the count here to Myers. Where's number 40? He walked his first time up here today. He'll cut and miss there on one that bounces out in front of the plate. Count goes 0-2. I think that's more of a product of the first pitch being a little bit low but called a strike. And when that happens, sometimes batters just feel like they have to start compensating for that. This one is low and will be called a ball. 1-2. Left-handed batter Myers steps back in again. 1-2 count here. 4-4 ball game. He'll tap this one down the first base line. He'll get through the legs of the first baseman, who looked ready to make a play on that one, but it looked like it went right through his legs and past his glove. Be interested to see how they rule that. I think they're still discussing whether or not it should be a hit or an error, but they have not made an official decision on the scoreboard. Again, usually I sit next to the scorer, and they will rule this an E3. So the first error of the day on the Monarchs, and as Hayes steps in for his second at bat, a sacrifice fly with an RBI in his last time up. He has an 0-1 count as that one catches at the corner at the knees. Here comes an outside low pitch. Count evens up now at 1-1. Again, tied at 4 apiece here in the top half of the third inning. Tyson Hayes. Runner goes here. This one will be fouled off, though, as Hayes was out in front of that one. Count goes to 1-2. Hayes comes in today hitting .273 with a .351 on-base percentage. He has 13 RBIs on the season, a couple of homers. Man who attends Illinois State. He did not appear in his freshman season. He'll pop this one high. Looks like it'll stay in play as it just goes foul at the first base line. The first baseman will make the catch on the pop out in foul territory. So one away. Runner on first is Chris Myers. That'll bring up Jake McCall. 3-run homer in his first at-bat. That was on the first pitch from Logan Schmidt, who still, by the way, is on the mound. That was runs numbers 2, 3, and 4 for the Mariners in that first inning. It was on that first pitch, straight to center, and just said goodbye to it. Here's a pitch high and outside, maybe a little bit of a pitch out there. See if they couldn't try to catch Myers, but Myers stays put at first. Count goes 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. Call came in today hitting .281 with a .453 on base percentage. He now has 2 home runs and 23 RBIs on the season. He also attends Illinois State, much like the catcher who just batted before him in Tyson Hayes. 2-0 pitch to him is outside. Or correction, it actually does catch the plate. 2-1. McCaw for Illinois State had 14 appearances and 12 starts. He hit .182 with a .315 on base percentage. He actually did not play in the doubleheader on Sunday. Last time we saw him was against the Leprechauns a week ago in a game in which he was 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs and a walk. He cuts and misses on the 3-1 pitch there, and that count now full at 3-2. Meyer steps back in. It's a right-hander on the mound, left-hander payoff pitch. Check swing as it bounces in the plate. They will appeal. He did not go, and the umpire on the bags agrees with me. And so it'll be a walk there for McCall. He stays 1 for 1 now with a walk. I'll bring up Van Acker. Struck out swinging his first time up, the only strikeout of the day for starting pitcher Logan Schmidt. Acker playing second base here today. Where's number 7? 1 out, runner at first and second. He takes one that bounces out in front of the plate, blocked up there nicely by Mazer to hold the runners at first and second. Again, on second is Chris Myers, reached on the error when a ball went right through the legs of first baseman Slattery, and then a walk from McCall. Tied here at 4 apiece. 1 out in the top half of the third. 4 hits for the Mariners, only 1 for the home team. The 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2-0 here to Acker. Pitch to Acker is high out into center field. Coming underneath it will be the center fielder in O'Laughlin. And that will hold the runners aboard now. Will hold the runners at bay as he throws that in. An F8 there for Acker. 2 outs, runner on first and second now for Stephen Fitzsimmons, the center fielder. Grounded to third his first time up. For Fitzsimmons, he did play in both games of the DH, or the doubleheader. He was the DH, as this is another high fly ball out into center field. O'Laughlin comes underneath it to make the catch, and the side is retired. Mariners get 2 aboard, 1 via a walk, 1 via the 1 error in the inning. They leave them stranded, no hits, no runs. We are tied at 4 as we head to the bottom half of the third. Live from Flat Rock, Michigan, Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners. I will be right back. Due up for the Monarchs, it will be Andrew Dyke, Sean O'Laughlin, and Griffin Mazer. Thank you for listening. You're live on the Mariners Media Network. Back out here in Flat Rock, Michigan, Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you a tied 4-4 ball game in the bottom half of the third. It'll be Andrew Dyke, Sean O'Laughlin, and Griffin Mazer due up for the home team Monarchs. Dyke walked his only time up here back in that second inning where the Mariners gave up 4 runs to the home team. On the first pitch, he fouls it off and out of play down the right field line. Dyke came back around to score. Manhattan's Illinois. He takes ball 1, 1-1 now the count. For Dyke at Illinois this past season, he had 11 appearances, 4 starts. He hit .067 with 2 RBIs in his campaign there. This one will be a line drive right up the gut. He'll get himself his first base hit of the game. He's now 1 for 1 with a walk. He takes that single, and that'll be the second base hit of the game for the Monarchs. That'll bring up Sean O'Laughlin. He reached on an error back in the second. He came around to score after that. That error, by the way, allowed the first run to cross the plate. He pops this one high. It looks like it'll go in foul territory. Out goes McCall, the third baseman, to make the catch. And one up, and that will retire the first man as it popped out in foul territory. So 1 out, runner on first. Brings up Griffin Mazer, struck out looking his first time up. He's 0 for 1, playing the catcher position here today.
Number 18, Griffin Mazer.
Griffin Mazer hitting .259 with a .400 on base percentage. He came as he takes low, ball 1. Mazer from California, who attends California Irvin. He did not play the Moore Park, California native, where he attended Moore Park High School. Lefty on the mound, righty in the batter's box. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Runner on first is Andrew Dyke. 1 for 1 with a walk. He singled to start this inning off, then it was a pop fly in foul territory. That's why we're with 1 out, runner on first for Griffin Mazer, who has a 2-0 count now. Courier delivers a little bit low, 3-0. Again, tied at 4-4 here in the bottom half of the third. For both sides, all their runs have been scored in 1 frame thus far, and that'll be ball 4. So on 4 straight pitches, Mazer will get aboard on the walk. There's now 2 aboard with 1 out for Casey Slattery. He walked his first time up back in the first inning. He came around to score.
From the University of California, Berkeley,
And that he came around to score on the walk by Alex Lambo. Slattery steps in. One out, runner at first and second, 4-4 ball game. Delivery. Right there at the knees in the outside corner, ball, strike one, 0-1 the count here to Slattery. Slattery is got 4 RBIs. He has a runner in scoring position as he lines this one right to Spry. This one will go to shortstop for second, back to first, and actually no throw from crossing, but they will go ahead and get the runner that was heading to second. There's now runners at the corners with 2 outs. 3-4 the play there. So only 1 runner in scoring position now. And for Slattery, not like Slattery, unless it's a home run, probably will not score from first. He's not the fastest of runners, but that's a fielder's choice, 3-4. And Zach Schwarzenberger reached on an error back in the second, came around to score after that. As he'll ground this one right to McCall, the third baseman, who will throw across to get the out. At first, 5-3, this side is retired. They leave 2 aboard. No errors, 1 hit, no runs score here in the bottom half of the third. We are tied at 4 as we head to the top half of the fourth. Mariners will be coming up to bat, and for the Mariners, it will be Josh Riggs, RJ Williams, and Blake Crossing. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We now here in the top half of the fourth inning. Mariners and Monarchs tied here in Flat Rock, Michigan at 4 apiece. Josh Riggs, the left fielder, will be stepping in wearing number 45, 6'5", Irons, Michigan native. He steps in for his second at bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day as he looks at low and outside. Ball 1. Riggs popped out to the second baseman his last time up. A one that maybe just had a little bit more carry, would have dropped into right field, but just lacked that carry. That'll be now on the outside corner at the knees. Strike 1, 1-1 now. The count evens up. 1-1 pitch. Just a little bit low. Ball 1, 2-1 the count now. In a 4-4 ball game. 4 hits for the Mariners on the day, 2 for their opponents. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Riggs will take inside. Ball 3. The count evens up now to Riggs at 3-1. Win the doubleheader for Riggs this on Sunday. He was 0 for 3. Was hit by a pitch in that game. He'll take ball 4, and he will get aboard via the walk. Riggs is aboard to start the inning at a 4-4 ball game. 4-2. Tell you what, been less hitting and more walking in this game. In this game, the Mariners have been able to draw a walk in 3 out of the 4 innings thus far. Myers has walked, McCall has walked, and now Riggs has walked. That's 3 walks for the Mariners and 4 hits. First one here to Williams is fouled back. Now the count goes 0-1 to Williams. And it's been 5 walks for the Monarchs, so a total of 8 walks in this one. Williams will ground this one right back to the first to the pitcher, who throws back to second for one, goes over to first for two. It's a 1-4-3 double play, and there's now 2 outs with nobody aboard, and a 4-4 ball game. Blake Crossing now steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the day, grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up, which could have been a double play, but with his hustle down the line, he avoided that. He singled his first time up to lead off the game for the Mariners. Knee-high fastball there is strike one. Crossing in the doubleheader in the second game, he was 1 for 2 with a walk. This one bouncing out. Might have just missed his back foot. Count now evens up at 1-1. And in the first game of the doubleheader, Crossing was 1 for 4. So he was, all in all, 2 for 6 with a walk in that doubleheader. Comes the 1-1 pitch to him. It's high, ball 2. 2-1 now the count. And that doubleheader was coming off of a game against the Leprechauns, which Crossing was 3 for 5 with a single. In the late stretch for this one, Crossing has been swinging the bat well, consistently. He takes right there at the edge of the plate, strike 2. The count even out, 2-2 to Crossing. Schmidt delivers off the bat of Crossing. This one should drop into center field and for a base hit. Crossing is now 2 for 3 on the day. Second single of the day for Crossing. This one comes with 2 outs. 5th base hit of the game for the Mariners. Evan Spry, left-handed batter, now steps in. It's a week ago today. Evan Spry had himself a very good game against the Leprechauns. He went 4 for 4 from the plate with 1 RBI. And that 4 for 4 came after a stretch going into the All-Star break where he was 0 for his last 10. Before that, had himself a really good game in that one. And now he's got himself a 2-0 count here against Schmidt with 2 outs, runner on first, and a 4-4 ball game. Spry in the doubleheader. In the first game, he was 2 for 4. In the second game, he was 0 for 3. He reached on an error in that first game as well. He has a 2-0 count now here with 2 outs. 2-0 pitch. Called strike 1 on the very, very edge of the plate at the high corner. 2-1 count, 2 outs. 4-4 the score. Crossing is on first. Here comes a throw back to first. Crossing gets back in time. So the count holds at 2-1 here to Crossing. Or correction to Spry, left-handed batter. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. This will get away here from Mazer, and Crossing will head down to second and get himself into scoring position on the wild pitch. So now the count 3-1 here to Spry, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Singled in his first time up back in the first. He grounded to the shortstop, who took it unassisted to get a force out at second to retire the side back in the second. 3-1 pitch is off the bat of Spry here. It's going to go out into right center, and coming over will be the center fielder in O'Laughlin, and the side is retired. Tied here at 4 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Back out here in Flat Rock, Michigan, in a 4-4 ball game between your Grand Lake Mariners and the Monarchs of Lake Erie. This, of course, is Lake Erie's home. The Monarchs and Mariners are tied at 1-1 in the series, and it's a 4-4 ball game here in this one. Courier back on the mound, the starting lefty for his 4th inning of work, delivers here. High and outside, ball 1 to Caleb Belgard, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Here comes now the 1-0 pitch to Belgard. Low and inside, ball 2, 2-0. Pitch from Courier, delivered. So we off the bat here. Grounded to Crossing, who throws it over to Spry. And 6-3, the play there. Belgard goes to 0-3 on the day. That'll now bring up Will Prater. He's 1 for 2, singled in the second, and struck out his first time up back in the first.
Number 5, Will Prater.
So Prater, the left-handed batter, will be going up against left-handed pitcher Courier. Courier, by the way, coming into this day with a 5.06 ERA. Only one of the runs of the 4 are earned, 3 of which scored on an error, and the other one was walked in. That one will be tipped ever so slightly on the bunt attempt. Now the count goes 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen, and the count goes quickly 0-2. Road has not been a kind place for starting pitcher Josh Courier. He has an 8.22 ERA with an 0-2 record. Those are 2 starts on the road. This, of course, is start number 3. He's only pitched 7 2/3 innings on the road. This is going to be a high fly ball, foul and out of play down the left field line. Courier trying to turn the fates on the road here at a 4-4 ball game. Again, only one of these runs, though, against him is credited as earned. 3 of them scored on an error, and 1 was walked in. And the 0-2 count now here to Prater. He's bouncing out in front of the plate, blocked up by Hayes. Count goes now 1-2, ball 1 called. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It'll be grounded here down the first base line. Will go foul, and the count will hold 1-2. 1 out in a 4-4 ball game here in the bottom half of the 4th. Prater getting his 3rd at bat. Again, he's 1 for 2 as the left-handed batting second baseman. Prater, who attends Western Carolina, had 55 appearances with 49 starts for Western Carolina. He takes outside ball 2. In those 55 appearances and 49 starts, he hit .293 with 12 RBIs and a .235 on-base percentage. And he steps here with a 2-2 count now to Courier, delivers the 2-2 pitch. It's low, ball 3. The count now full. So it goes from 0-2 now to full on Prater. We'll see how Courier approaches this. We'll see how Prater approaches this, and we'll see how this duel here ends on the 3-2 pitch. Payoff delivered. Off the bat here, grounded to McCall. Scoops it up here on a little bit of a bobble, but gets it across the diamond in time. 5-3. 2 up, 2 down. That'll now bring up Alex Lambo, 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. That walk carried an RBI. So Alex Lambo will now step in. He's the right-hander going up against the left-handed starting pitcher. Tied here at 4 apiece. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Called strike on the inside edge of the plate. Count goes 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. 2 outs. Runner on first is tipped back to the backstop. The count quickly goes 0-2. That one hit right off one of the posts here. The screen's right right next to me and took a roll down to the first base dugout where one of the Mariners players will come out and grab it. The count now 0-2 here to Lambeau. Courier with a favorable count will deliver the 0-2 pitch. High and outside, ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Nobody aboard in a 4-4 ball game. By the way, for Lambeau, who now steps in, he has a .288 batting average at home. That's in 16 games at home. This one we pop sky high and out of play. Count holds at 1-2 as it's out of play and foul. For Lambeau, that .288 is to compare against his .290, so he's pretty much evened out road and home to expect to, but he looks at strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. He'll go down for the second time today. That'll be the third strikeout of the day for Courier, and the side is retired. They go in order for the second time here today for the Monarchs. Tied here at 4 apiece. We'll head now to the top of the 5th. Due up for your Grand Lake Mariners. It is Chris Myers, Tyson Hayes, and Jake McCall. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Chris Myers, the designated hitter, steps in. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. He reached on an error to lead off the 3rd inning. He now comes out for the top half of the 5th, and we are tied here at 4 in Flat Rock, Michigan. Myers takes first pitch on the curveball there. Strike 1. 0-1 now the count here to Myers. Chris Myers, the man who attends University of Toledo, he will foul this one down the first base line. Count goes 0-2 to Myers. And the University of Toledo just finished his freshman campaign this past spring. He had 41 appearances, hit .278 with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. There was a stretch near the end where he had reached base safely 21 games in a row for the Rockets. He goes 1-2 now, as that one's low and outside. For Myers, in the month of July, as he puts this one sky high, foul, and out of play down the third base line. Count goes and holds at 1-2. For Myers, he has hit .309 in this month of July, and that is to compare to his .333. So pretty much he's been pretty consistent all throughout the season. The difference is his 2 home runs in the season have both come in the month of July, but he had a triple and a couple of doubles in June. Now here comes a 1-2 pitch to him. He's going to hit this one sky high out to center field. It's going back towards the wall. He's out of room, and he runs into the wall, as this one will be an easy leadoff double for Myers. As he goes in there to second, that one was right there at the wall. So Myers gets himself aboard for the 3rd time here today. One's on an error, one's on a walk, and now a double for him. Tell you what, that one had a lot of carry on it and was ever so close to being out of here. Not a very high wall going all the way around, and that one hit right about dead center of the wall when it dropped. Now comes Tyson Hayes, the Illinois State catcher, batting right here. His first pitch will be grounded right here to the third baseman, who fumbles it. Myers will hold it second, but Hayes will be caught 5-3 there. As the throw across the horn catches out Hayes, who falls to 0-2 on the day.
Number 50,
Jake McCall, 1 for 1 with a 3-run homer back in the first and a walk in the third, steps in with 1 out, runner on second. Left-handed batter stepping in. Check back to second by Schmidt, the starting pitcher. Delivered here, and it goes high, ball 1. So 1-0 count here, 1 out, runner on second here to McCall. 1 for 1 with a walk man. It's delivered to him. Runner goes. Here comes the throw down to third in plenty of time. And McCall, or correction, Myers will be caught stealing. The play 2-5. So now there's 2 outs, nobody aboard. 4-4 still to score here as call, actually, correction, it's 2-0 as that one was also called a ball. The scoreboard was wrong. So Myers is erased from the base now with 2 outs. 2-0 count here as this one bouncing at the shoes of McCall, and now the count goes 3-0. I almost get the sense that Schmidt might be a little bit afraid now to pitch to McCall, who made him pay with a 3-0 pitch. And this one will be a line driver, but right to didn't have enough carry. Looks like from my angle that it might have carried into the outfield, but it actually bounced and slowed down enough for the second baseman to throw him out. So 4-3, and they do go in order despite the hit, but Myers is caught stealing, so 1 hit, no runs, no errors, no men left aboard. We'll now head to the bottom half of the 5th, tied at 4 apiece. Due up for the Monarchs, Robert Bell, Andrew Dyke, and Sean O'Laughlin. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Josh Courier steps back out now here for the 5th inning. Left-hander will be going up against Robert Bell. As Robert Bell now steps in. Right-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. This one a little bit low and outside, ball 1 here to Bell. A 1-0 count. Courier delivers. Inside now, 2-0. Bell, by the way, against left-handed pitching, he does hit .292, and he takes ball 3 there now, 3-0. Versus left-handed pitching, he also has a .469 on-base percentage. So he can work well against the lefties. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to him. It'll be called strike. He takes all the way as that one catches the edge of the plate. Count goes 3-1. And that's not including the stats here today. He's got a total of 7 hits, a couple of doubles, and this one will be fouled off. The count now goes full as it goes down the left field line. Count now full here at 3-2 to the leadoff man, Robert Bell, who, by the way, is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Flew out. Courier back on the mound. He has retired the leadoff batter 2 out of 4 times. Now he's trying to make it 5 out of 3. but he misses inside. It'll be a walk for Bell. Leadoff walk for Bell. That's the second time he has led off an inning with a walk. And the last time he did that, he came around to score back in the second when they batted around on Courier and the Mariners. That now brings in Andrew Dyke. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Bats right here against the lefty. Delivered. High, ball 1. Bell in the month of July hitting .291 in 55 at-bats. He scored 7 runs. He's got 4 doubles, a triple, and 9 RBIs. He's also walked 12 times, giving him a .426 on-base percentage. He takes low, ball 2. Now the count at 2-0 to Bell. Throw back to first here, sliding back in plenty of time is Dyke, or correction, is Bell. Dyke, the 1 for 1 man with a walk. Also today, cuts and misses on a very aggressive swing there. He now has a 2-1 count. Dyke here at home hits .269 as here comes the throw down and getting back in time. It's Adrian as that one is getting back in time is Robert Bell as that one's thrown from Courier back to first. This one outside, ball 3. 3-1 now the count here to Dyke. So 3-1 count here to Dyke in a 4-4 ball game. As we are all tied up here in the bottom half of the 5th, a leadoff walk has gotten Robert Bell aboard. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and Dyke will be walked. So much like in that second inning when both Dyke and Bell came around to score, they both get walks to lead off the inning. And this is going to pull head coach Damon Hacker out of the dugout to have a conversation with his pitcher and catcher. Just try to get Courier's mind back in place. And center fielder Sean O'Laughlin will now come in. He is 0 for 2, but reached on an error by Evan Spry, the first baseman, in the second. That error also allowed Robert Bell to round third and head home, because that throw from Spry from first to second ended up in left field. But O'Laughlin now steps in, left-handed batter. O'Laughlin with a .267 home batting average. A couple of doubles and a home run for him on 6 RBIs. He has a runner in scoring position. That's actually O'Loughlin's July numbers, not his numbers at home. I was looking at the wrong tab. This one will be grounded right to the first baseman, who will turn to second for 1, throws it to Spry, and they'll get one throw back to first. Is not going to happen as Spry holds on to it, but they do get the runner going to second, so it's a fielder's choice. 4-3, or correction, 3-4. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of held my breath there, kind of held my breath just a little bit, just because that was a very similar moment to where Sean O'Laughlin reached on the error after both Bell and Dyke got on walks. I was afraid recent history was going to repeat itself, but Spry does not make the same error twice. The runner goes. Here comes no throw from Hayes. What a great jump by O'Laughlin to get his stolen base. Also eliminates the double play opportunity. 1 out. It's an 0-1 count, as strike 1 was called there. And for O'Laughlin, the center fielder, that's his 6th stolen base of the season. The 0-1 pitch. This one will be tapped foul down the third base line. The count quickly goes 0-2. Here to Mazer, who, by the way, is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. That strikeout was looking. So an 0-2 count here. Runner at first and second after the stolen base by O'Laughlin. Courier's going to step off before he steps back on. Hayes gives him his sign. And now time is called here by Mazer. Catcher will step back in to his right-handed batter's box, and the left-handed pitcher will look back in for a sign from Hayes again. We are ready to go with an 0-2 count. Runner on first and second, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. This one will be popped high into foul territory down the right field line. It looks like it will get safely to the ground or out of play. My view is somewhat obstructed down the right field line into foul territory. Cannot see the Mariners bullpen, nor can I see the fence down that right field line. Much like at home, I'm just ground level and right behind the plate here at Flat Rock. Anyway, it's an 0-2 count here now to Mazer, the catcher. Bats right here against the lefty. The 0-2 pitch is tapped right here to the second baseman. Flipped over to first for one. It will be the RBI on the ground out there, as coming around to score will be Bell. So he does get the RBI on that one. The play is 4-3. And now, for the first time in this one, the home team will take the lead 5-4. Mazer will get himself his first RBI of the game. And on the season, that's RBI number 10. Slattery now steps in. He is 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Walked and came around to score in that second inning. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Slattery, 1-0 count here. Stepping back in, the 0 for 1 man. Slattery has not had a very fun stretch in these past couple of games, but he takes 2-0. Coming into this one, in his last 10 games, has an .053 batting average. In his last 5, he came into this game with an 0 for 11 streak, and he's now 0 for 12 with that walk. This one might make it 0 for 13 as Acker comes over and throws him out. As 4-3, so Slattery falls to 0 for 12 for his last appearances. 4-3 the play there, and they do get one across the plate on 0 hits, no errors, and one man was left on base. We'll now head to the bottom half, or top half of the 6th. Mariners trailing 5-4 here on the road. Due up for your Grand Lake Mariners, it will be Van Acker, Stephen Fitzsimmons, and Joshua Riggs. Don't go anywhere. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Back out in Flat Rock, Michigan, Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners, bringing you more play-by-play action here in a 5-4 ball game. Home team on top over your Grand Lake Mariners. Van Acker will try to get the comeback rally now started for the Mariners. 0 for 2 on the day. He'll be batting right. He's played second base here today.
Van Acker, number 7.
Van Acker, wearing number 7, who attends Alma College. Had 42 appearances this past spring for Alma. 284 batting average and 370 on base percentage, 6 stolen bases and 16 doubles. Here comes the first pitch to him. It'll be popped sky high into foul territory. Coming over as the first baseman and making the catch. Acker is retired. The pop out in foul territory. 1 up, 1 down. I'll now bring up Stephen Fitzsimmons, 0 for 2 from the plate, grounded out to third and flown out to center his 2 times up today. Stephen Fitzsimmons, who attends Valparaiso, had 16 appearances with 3 starts. He hit 174 this past spring with an RBI and 345 on-base percentage. It is Logan Schmidt back on the mound here for his 5th inning of work, or 6th inning of work, I should say, rather. First pitch was a ball. The second one will have the same results. It's now 2-0 to Steven Fitzsimmons. As Fitzsimmons takes ball 3, count now goes 3-0. 3-0 count now here to number 11, Fitzsimmons. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. He'll take on the outside part of the plate there. It'll be 3-1. Strike one called. He takes low, ball 4, so with 1 out, Fitzsimmons gets a walk. And now, 1 aboard, 1 out for Josh Riggs. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk in his last at-bat back in the 4th.
The left fielder, number 45, Josh.
Where's
Riggs.
number 45?
45.
For Riggs. Again at Alma College. Have more pitching stats for him than I do batting stats. But he had a nice season at Alma in his sophomore season for pitching. He had 12 starts. He went 68 in the 3rd innings pitch. He was 382 batting average, or so 382 ERA and 52 punch outs. Throwback to first here on the 1-0 count. It's now 1-0 to Riggs, and a throwback to first does not catch Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons does have 6 stolen bases. This one will be rocketed but foul as it flies high. It will go foul territory, and trying to make a diving play there was the left fielder in Schwarzenberger. Boy, he had to run a while, and he almost got there too, but it will drop safely. Now the count is 1-1 with 1 out. I thought that one was out of play for a second anyway. So 1-1 count here, 1 out. Runner on first, and a 1-run ball game. It's 5-4, 1-run differential between the two teams. Home team Monarchs on top of the Mariners. 1-1. Pitch delivered to Riggs. He will smack this one the opposite way, but foul. And now the count goes 1-2 to Riggs. Man, certainly capable of delivering the Mariners a lead here with 1 swing of the bat. Again, he has 3 home runs on the season and 17 RBIs. Nobody in scoring position. Runner goes. Here comes the tip. Here, I thought he may have gotten a piece of it, but they're now going to say that Riggs went around, and also somehow Fitzsimmons is out. I didn't think the throw was in time. Not quite sure what the play was. It must have been a strike him out, throw him out double play. 2-6. So the side is retired here. And we'll head to the bottom half of the second. 5-4, the Monarchs leading. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Josh Courier comes back out to the mound here now for the bottom half of the 6th inning. Mariners trailing 5-4 here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Hello, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, bringing you all the play-by-play action for this game and every game of the 2018 season. Mariners have hit their opponents, but a couple of defensive mistakes have provided some runs. Again, only 2 of these 5 runs have been earned against Courier. The other 3 came on errors. Courier has pitched a pretty good game, except he has had command issues sporadically. He's walked quite a few batters, but also has gotten himself 3 strikeouts and some defensive help as well. Bunt is shown here, but it's pulled back by Schwarzenberger, who, by the way, is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the second. That error allowed 2 runs to score. He also grounded out to the third baseman his last time up. So Schwarzenberger 0 for 2. Left fielder gets his 1-0 pitch here. High and outside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. 5-4 the ball game. score right now. We'll get you some update scores from around the league here in just a second. As Courier delivers 2-0 pitch, outside ball 3. Already mentioned that Saginaw beat the Richmond Jazz in Saginaw 7-6. Final score there, 3-0 pitch here. It's inside ball 4. Third time here today that Courier has walked the leadoff man.
From Indiana University, the third baseman, number
As
21,
Schwarzenberger gets aboard on the
Caleb
walk.
Valgar.
We're back to the top of the order now for Caleb Belgard, who's 0 for 3 on the day. He is grounded out to short his last time up. He's also popped out to first and flown to right. Clippers are absolutely in control in the bottom half of the fifth. Up there in Muskegon, they are up 10-1 over the Lima Locos. That's in the bottom half of the fifth. Settlers lead the Steam 4-2 in the bottom of the fourth down in Licking County. And this looks like it will be the day for Josh Courier. He will leave this ball game in line for the 5-4 in the loss. And coming out now on the mound, it looks like number 37, Mackenzie Hicks. He'll step on the mound. I will step aside. I'll talk about Hicks when I return. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back out to Flat Rock, Michigan. Mackenzie Hicks now on the mound for the Mariners. Josh Courier stay-ins in 5 innings. He currently has given up 5 runs, only 2 of which are earned. He's given up 2 hits as well. 8 walks, though, and 3 punch-outs. Not the typical kind of command we're used to seeing from Courier, but everybody has their off nights, and you just have to look to the future if you're Courier and not let this one get to you as you go down the road. For Mackenzie Hicks, this has been a while since we've seen him on the mound. We've seen him a lot at the plate and in right field or at third base. But for Hicks, this will be his 5th appearance on the mound. He has a 14.40 ERA. In 5 innings pitched, he's given up 4 extra base hits, which includes 2 home runs. He does have 1 save, 6 punch-outs, and 3 walks on the season for the Mariners. And this is now his 5th appearance. He's from Echo, Alabama. He attends Troy, where he just finished his freshman season where he did not make an appearance. So took a red shirt there. Hicks now steps on. Big Mac getting ready to deliver his first pitch. It's low, ball 1. Hayes digs it out of the dirt. The runner on first is the responsibility, and that's Zach Schwarzenberger of Courier. So 5-4 ball game. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Hicks. Delivers. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Hayes. It'll actually end up nailing Hicks in the side of the leg. Schwarzenberger had a great jump. I'm interested to see how they'll rule that, if they'll rule that an error or just give him the stolen base. But now Hayes is going to have to go apologize to his pitcher, but Hicks is all smiles over there. I don't see that one every day, but when you do, I got to imagine that's going to hurt. It hit him right, looked like maybe on the thigh. And I think they're just going to go ahead and give the stolen base to Schwarzenberger, who's now in scoring position. So 2-0 count now. Courier threw right around 100 pitches, and should be his last start of the year. Mariners aren't officially mathematically eliminated for the postseason, but it's a very steep uphill battle to try to get to August baseball, as they currently are in 7th, and I believe, if memory serves right, 4 or 5 games out of that final position with only 5 games left after today. So 2-1 pitch here. That one's called strike. Hicks will check back to second and delivers the 2-1 pitch. This one will be fouled towards the first base dugout. Now count now evens up at 2-2. Nobody out. Runner on second and 5-4 lead for the home team Monarchs. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hicks looks okay, by the way. He's not mumbling, and he's still got his same. He's not stumbling, not lacking any power after he took a throw from Hayes, who does have a pretty strong arm behind the plate. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the day for Hicks comes on the first batter he faces. There's one away. Here in the bottom half of the 6th, 5-4 still to score. And it will now be Will Prater, number 5. Man who attends Western Carolina University, had himself a great freshman season with 55 appearances and 49 starts for Western Carolina. 1 out, runner on second and in scoring position. And for Prater, he does only have 3 RBIs. Top of the order doesn't necessarily grant you a lot of RBIs, despite being the man second, but you still would love to see a little bit more production out of your number 2 hitter as far as scoring. He takes ball 1 low and inside. Prater is 1 for 3 on the day. Strikeout, single, and ground out to third. The ground out to third was his last at bat. It's now a right-hander on the mound, left-hander in the box. 1-0 count. Hicks looks in, checks back to second, and delivers the 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2. Again, the film is rather small on Mackenzie Hicks, and he's just had 1. And when that is the case in 5 innings pitched, the reason his ERA is so high is just because he's had a couple of bad outings, but we've also seen him be very dominant. And we'll see if we can get that kind of case here. He had that one appearance where he gave up a couple of home runs. That was his worst outing, as this one's fouled back and out of play, 2-1. But Hicks has certainly got the ability to go out there and be a dominant pitcher. He's got a 2-1 count now here on Prater. Again, the last time we actually saw Mackenzie Hicks was against the Monarchs at home. That was in a 11-run ball game. This one will be tapped here to Crossing, who's going to throw it across the horn to Spry. And 6-3 the play there. There's now 2 away as Schwarzenberger moves 90 feet away for Alex Lambo. And for Mackenzie Hicks, didn't have too bad of an outing in that one. He came in and faced just a couple of batters. He walked, got a couple of strikeouts and a couple of RBIs as well, or allowed a couple of runs batted in as well. His last 2 outings have not been his greatest. That was not the one where he gave up a couple of home runs. But he did register a couple of strikeouts in that last outing. That was against the Monarchs. He last pitched. That one is missing there, ball 1. Now the 1-0 count. This one will be grounded right here to McCall, who ends up not getting his glove to that one. That one should be ruled an error there on McCall, and it will be. So the second error, or the third error in this one, and that's on 3 different players as well. So the run crosses the plate there on the error. It is now 6-4. And that one will close the book there on Courier, and that run will not be earned. So he gives up 6 runs, only 2 of which are earned for Josh Courier. So Robert Bell now steps in. He's walked twice and flown out to left, so he's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. He now bats. He bats left here against the righty. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. And that play to McCall just took a weird hop at the last second, and probably a little bit of a divot out there in the dirt. Just took a hop right over the glove of McCall at the last second and ended up into left field. It's one of those plays where you just have to shake it off and go, oh, that's just baseball. Now a big swing and a miss here by Bell, the designated hitter. He's now has a 1-1 count, 2 outs, runner on first in a 6-4 ball game. Mariners scored 4 runs in the top of the first inning, 3 of which came on a homer from Jake McCall. But then it's been 6 unanswered since, including a 4-run bottom of the second. Hicks has got to tie his shoe now here for a second. Now he will get ready to go. Certainly don't want your pitcher tripping over his shoelaces when he goes to throw. That'd be somewhat comedic, but also very bad. It's a 1-1 count now as Mackenzie Hicks delivers and blows this one by Bell. Count goes 1-2. You may have gotten just a piece of that one. Mackenzie Hicks, though, with good velocity. 6-4 the score here. 1-2 count now here to Bell. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. 1 spot already put up in this inning. That was on an error by McCall. This one will bounce out in front of the plate. Hayes blocks it up nicely. Count even now at 2-2. So, as my good friend Jacob would say, deuces are wild with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And the difference between the scores is 2. So a lot of 2s all over this board. 2 hits for the home team Monarchs. But anyway, it's a 6-4 ball game. 2-2 pitches swung and fouled back to the screen by Bell. Count will hold it 2-2. I'd like to thank you all from wherever you may be. I'd like to thank you all for listening from wherever you may be listening. If you're just joining us, the scoring happened like this. Mariners jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the top half of the first inning. It was a sacrifice RBI after the bases got loaded. Hayes delivered that sacrifice RBI, and then McCall stepped up and drilled 3. Kenzie Hicks runs this tapper down the first base line, and he takes it himself. So that'll be an unassisted ground out back to the pitcher. That one was dribbling down the first base line. Mackenzie Hicks has got a lot of speed for a pitcher. Sprinted to grab that one and take it himself as opposed to flipping it over to Spry. Either way, it'll get the out that the Mariners needed. 1 run scores on no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left aboard. This is Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Mariners trailing 6-4 here in Flat Rock. I'll be right back out for the Mariners when they come out to bat. It'll be R.J. Williams, Blake Crossing, and Evan Spry. Thank you for listening. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So the starting righty Logan Schmidt's day is over. He went 6 innings pitched. He allowed 2 runs, both of which were earned on 6 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 2. It's been a very, very slow day in the strikeout department. Only 6 on the day for both, combining the 2 sides. Left-handed. Stepping in now will be Evan Floor, a left-handed pitcher who attends Michigan State. He's from Northville, Michigan. He's 2-3 on the season with a .575 ERA and 20 1/3 innings pitched, 29 punch-outs to 6 walks. This will be his 9th appearance. He also has a start as well. First pitch here to R.J. Williams leading it off for the Mariners is low, ball 1. R.J. Williams is 1 for 2, grounded into a double play his last time up, right back to the mound. He singled in his first at-bat. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to him. He's going to pop this one high in foul territory, going towards the stands and out of play on the left field side. Again, the score here, 6-4 in favor of the home team Monarchs in their pinstripe two-piece uniforms. 1-1 pitch here, bunt shown, pulling back as that one's high. Count goes 2-1. So 2-1 here to Williams. Schmitz is in line for the win if this result were to hold. Williams takes outside, ball 3. 3-1 now the count here. Williams trying to lead off this inning for the Mariners by getting aboard and try to get this rally going here in the top half of the 7th inning. And the 3-1 pitch from Floor is fouled towards the screen. Actually just catches the edge of it too. That one actually could have been sent to one of the excess fields here. But it just catches the edge of the screen to fill up the count at 3-2. Due up after Williams, it'll be Blake Crossing and Evan Spry for the Mariners. Well, first we await the payoff pitch from Floor. Here it comes. It'll be fouled down the first base line, and we'll go again at 3-2. R.J. Williams in that doubleheader against the Clippers on Sunday, he actually played everywhere in the outfield. He started the first game out in right, then got moved to center on a defensive change. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to him. Fouled again, this time down the third base line. Count holds at 3-2. And then in the second game, he played in left field. So he played all over that outfield. RJ was 0 for 2 in the second game against the Clippers, going with an 0 for 3, so he was 0 for 5 against the Clippers this past Sunday. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to him. He's going to pop this one high. It will not leave the infield as Floor, the pitcher, will get underneath it, make the catch himself, and the first man is retired.
The shortstop, number 10.
So he popped that one right up back to the mound. That'll now bring up Blake Crossing, 2 for 3 on the day. Couple of singles. He grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second. It was a single in the first and the fourth. And again, he came around to score on the sacrifice RBI by Tyson Hayes back in that first inning. 6-4 the score. Here comes the first pitch to Crossing. He fouls this one up to the screen. He actually kicks up a bunch of the rubble and dirt that's back here, and it gets all over my equipment. Against the left-handed batter, Blake Crossing, the switch hitter, will be batting right. He's got an 0-1 count here with 1 out. Next pitch to him is high and out of play. Count quickly 0-2 to Crossing. Floor looks in for his signs, an 0-2 count, and head of Crossing now, who can work counts. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one will be fouled off, and he'll go again at 0-2. Crossing does a really good job of working counts when he has the opportunity, which is what you want from a leadoff man, is to find a way to get aboard any way and every way possible. Part of the reason why he is continued to be in that leadoff role. He knows how to work counts, keep himself alive. And now here comes an 0-2 pitch to him. Bouncing out in front of the plate. Mazer will block that one up. So there's no base runners to worry about. 1 out, nobody aboard. 1-2 now the count here to Crossing. Crossing in that fourth inning also reached second on a wild pitch. This one will be sky high out into right center. Coming over will be the right fielder to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down for the Mariners on the F9 there. That'll bring up Evan Spry, left-handed batting first baseman.
Evan Spry.
Wearing number 42. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Singled in that first inning. Came around to score on the McCall home run. He's also grounded out and flown out here today. 2 outs, nobody aboard for Spry. Lefty-lefty matchup. 6-4 the score. First pitch to Spry. Just a little bit off the plate. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Pitch is going down the left field line. It'll drop fair. And so Spry will have himself a double here with 2 outs as he slides into second. And boy, that throw from left field there by Schwarzenberger was a good one, but due to the nature of the ball being out in left field, there was not really a chance for the turn and tag there by the second baseman, as Spry gets past Prater and will be on second with a 2-out double. Second base hit of the game for Spry. He's now 2 for 4. Chris Myers, the designated hitter, 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a double. He was caught stealing in that trying to steal in that 5th inning. He also reached on an error in the 3rd. First pitch to him is called strike 1. So I count 0-1 as that one catches the edge of the plate. 2 outs, runner on second, 6-4 the score. And the 0-1 pitch. Low and outside, blocked up there by Mazur. The count goes 1-1. Check swing there by Myers. Mariners jumped out to a 4-0 lead, have since given up 6 unanswered, but they can change that here as Myers takes strike 2. Must have just caught the plate on the inside. The count now goes 1-2. Floor looks in for a sign, checks back to second. The 1-2 pitch is fouled off here to the screen by Myers, and now the count holds at 1-2. Myers was not present with the team against the Clippers, but against the Leprechauns, he was 0 for 2 before he was taken out of the ballgame for a tactical change for Justin Diaz. Now with the 2-2 count as that one from Floor misses from Myers. Here comes the 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Low ball 3. Myers has worked the count full. Myers, another one of those great Mariners players that can do that. He can get himself down early in a count, but he knows how to work it, and that's what good baseball players do. They find a way to turn an 0-2 into a walk, as Myers just did. Ball 4, low and outside. And now first and second for the Mariners. 2 outs for Tyson Hayes. He is 0 for 2 with an RBI sacrifice fly. Popped out to first baseman and grounded out to third. Tyson Hayes started out a little bit slow in this season offensively. Defensively, he's always been there. But then he really hit the ground running in the second half of the season. He has a .273 batting average coming in today with a .351 on base percentage. See what the Illinois State man can do now. Stepping off here is Floor just to hold Evan Spry there at second. Evan Spry, by the way, does have 7 stolen bases on the season. Myers has 8, so a double steal could be a possibility. Right there on the edge of the plate. Good pitch there by Floor. Count goes 0-1 to Hayes. Lefty on the mound, righty in the box. 6-4 the score. Hayes checks his swing, and that one was just framed nicely there by Mazur. Looked a little bit low, but framed nicely. Count quickly 0-2 to Hayes. If Hayes were to get aboard, Jake McCall is due up next for the Mariners. But let's see if Hayes can work himself through this 0-2 count. Pitch to him. Fouled down the third base line. Holding it 0-2. Hayes again batting cleanup. He hit 4th and 3rd in the 2 doubleheader games. He caught in the first one, and then he DH'd in the second one. 0-2 pitch here gets away from Mazur. Runners will advance. Both runners now in scoring position as Spry moves over to third, and Myers is now on second. 1-2 now the count. 6-4 the score. Hayes trying to work a 0-2 count. Now 1-2. We'll see how he approaches this and how Floor approaches him too. Give him a couple of pitches here, which you'll tempt him to try to chase, but there again, he holds up. Hayes is a very patient batter. He now has 2-2, 2 outs, so deuces are wild. 2 runners aboard. The difference in the game, 2 runs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hayes will foul it off. It'll go off the wall as that one goes down the third base line. It was rolling all the way, though. Count holds a 2-2, and so now Mazur's going to go have a conversation with his pitcher, Floor. Just kind of discuss it. Again, after the Mariners grabbed momentum early, Monarchs quickly seized it back in the second, but now definitely don't want to give it back to the Mariners if you're the Monarchs, but of course the Mariners just want to steal it and try to get out of here with a win, snap this 7-game losing streak they're on, and you always got to look towards the future as Hayes will knock this one sky high, going deep, and it goes foul. Just a little bit out in front of that one. He got a lot on that one, but that one goes foul. So the count will hold at 2-2. I mean, he just clobbered that one, but boy, shame that would have been a 7-3 lead if it had stayed fair. Anyway, it's a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third, and we'll go again. Floor will gather and deliver to Hayes. He swings and misses. Hayes will go down swinging, and the side is retired. So that'll be the first strikeout for Floor in this game. Mariners managed to get a couple aboard on 1 hit and a walk, but they leave them stranded. No errors in the innings and no runs. We'll now head to the bottom half of the 7th and the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Mackenzie Hicks comes back out to the mound for the Mariners. In that 6th inning when he came out with nobody out and a runner on first. That runner and Zach Schwarzenberger did come around to score, but that run was charged to the starting pitcher and Courier. That was his 6th run given up, but he scored on an error, so he went unearned. 6-4 the ball game. Mariners trailing here on the road. Both starting pitchers are out of this one. Both starting pitchers are in line for the decision unless the result changes here. But we are in the bottom half of the 7th, only a 2-run ball game. And as I'm told by a couple of people close to this Monarchs organization, they do have a tendency to kind of give up some leads. But we'll see if that is the case here. The Mariners can't come back in the last third of this one. It'll all start here in the bottom half of the 7th for the Monarchs, though, as they try to extend their lead. Andrew Dyke steps in. He is 1 for 1 on the day with a couple of walks as well. So he's had 3 plate appearances, and he's gotten aboard all 3 times. This will be the first time he faces Hicks, though, today. Here comes the delivery to Dyke. It's bouncing there on the plate, and 1-0 here to Dyke. Dyke, a man who attended Illinois, a part of that Big Ten. He had 10 appearances, 4 starts, hit .067. He's had a .271 batting average this season coming into this game with a .395 on-base percentage. He takes low and inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count here from Hicks to Dyke. Due up after Dyke, it is Sean O'Laughlin and Griffin Mazur. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. 3-0 count. 6-4 the score. Mariners scored all their runs in that first inning, 3 of which came on a home run. That's ball 4 there. As for the third time today, Dyke gets walked. Sean O'Laughlin now steps in. He is 0 for 3 on the day. He reached on an error back in the second. That error also allowed Robert Bell to score. He popped out in foul territory to the third baseman in the third, and he grounded into a fielder's choice back in the fifth and had himself a stolen base as well in that fifth inning. He comes in for his 4th plate appearance. 6-4 ball game, runner on first, nobody out. This one will be swung on and missed there by O'Laughlin. It's a righty on the mound, lefty in the box. O'Laughlin wearing number 33. Northwestern man at Northwestern, as here comes the throwback to third, or first, correction, not in time, as Dyke gets in there safely. Before O'Laughlin, he had 43 appearances for the Wildcats and 27 starts. He hit .232 with 13 RBIs. Next pitch to him is called strike 2 in the inside high corner. Great pitch there by Hicks. Not wasting any time here against O'Laughlin, who's down to the count 0-2 and not having himself a spectacular day, to say the least. Here comes an 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate. Count 1-2. Kenzie Hicks does have himself a strikeout in this game to match to go with a 3 from Courier, the starting pitcher. But again, if you're just tuning in, Courier on the day went 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, only 2 of which were earned. 2 hits, 8 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Not that typical kind of command we've used to seeing from Courier, as he walked 8 batters, but everybody's going to have their rough days, and you just move on from them. Hicks now looks in for his sign. It's a 1-2 count after the last pitch was fouled off. And the 1-2 pitch to O'Laughlin. Check swing off the plate and a little bit high. 2-2 now. The count evens up. Nobody out. Runner on first. 6-4 the score. The runner on first is Andrew Dyke, who, by the way, is having himself a 1-for-1 day with 3 walks. Seems rather untouchable by Mariners pitching. And now Hicks will deliver the 2-2 pitch. Low ball 3. Count now full here to O'Laughlin. Count full. Hicks checks back to first as he gets his sign. He'll gather his grip in the glove. And he'll deliver the payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. Couple of walks here to start the 7th inning by Hicks, as Griffin Mazer will step in. Hey, what? There's been a lot of walks here today. A lot of them have been on close calls, too, that have just gone the Monarchs' way on those. But for the 3rd time here today, back-to-back walks will lead off an inning. It happened in the 2nd, in the 5th, and now the 7th. That'll bring up Griffin Mazer. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. He also has an RBI on a ground-out play. Nobody out. Runner on first and second. Hicks will check back to second. The first pitch will be low and outside. Ball 1. .6-4 the score here. 7 hits for the Mariners, only 3 for the Monarchs. As I mentioned, 4 of the runs against Courier were unearned. Part of that 3 errors that the Mariners have given up. Not that it's been too bad of a game defensively. 2 of those errors just took bad hops on our infielders here, including the one to McCall where it just bounced right over his glove on a weird hop. It's a 2-0 count now here, and it's swung on and, ooh, strikes the... I think it was struck the umpire right in the chest plate, too, on a foul tip there by Mazer. Might have came back to hit Hayes in the back a little. But that's why they were padding back there, because that one hit them right, hit the umpire right in his right shoulder pad or something off the pad. Anyway, the count now 2-1 to Mazer, the catcher. Steps in. A check back here to second by Hicks after he gets his sign. A double, triple take. And now the 2-1 pitch. Bouncing out in front of the plate. Blocked up there nicely by Hayes to keep the runners at bay. Count now 3-1. Kenzie Hicks now on the mound. There is a right-hander I'm hearing from someone warming up in the bullpen. Can't see who it is, though. I just heard that there is somebody up and throwing in the bullpen for the Grand Lake Mariners. So 3-1 pitch. Hicks gets this one popped high, back and out of play. Now count now full now to Mazer, 3-2. No outs, runners on first and second, 6-4 the score here. As Hicks looks in, he'll gather his pitch. Check back to second, the 3-2 pitch is grounded down the third base line. McCall will take it, but not have a play as he keeps that one just from being getting into the outfield and allowing a run to score. So a single there by Mazer, and with nobody out, the bases are full now. And that was still just a great play by McCall there. Definitely didn't want to risk the throw, but he just held on to that one in order to keep it out of the outfield so that nobody would score. It's 6-4 still, but the runners all aboard on the bases as Casey Slattery steps in. He's had an 0-for-2 day with a walk. He grounded into a fielder's choice, and he's grounded out to second. First pitch to him is outside. Ball one. 1-0 now the count here to Slattery. We'll see if Hicks can't work himself out of this bases-loaded jam. We've seen it happen before for the Mariners this season where the first three batters get aboard, and then they come out and deliver 3 straight strikeouts to get him out of it. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed there by number 44 in Slattery. Count evens up at 1-1. Hicks certainly has the material to get those 3 strikeouts he needs. But now it's just more of a mental thing. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Outside ball 2. 2-1. So 2-1 count now here. Hicks to Slattery. Again, Hicks walked the first 2 batters, gave up the single to Mazer. It was an infield single, too, in which McCall just made a great play to keep the lead man and Dyke from scoring. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's high and outside, ball 3. 3-1 now the count. (3-1) pitch, bases loaded, 6-4 ball game. 7 hits for the Mariners, 4 for the Monarchs. Checking in is Hicks. He'll gather. And the 3-1 pitch is just off the plate. That one looks like a good delivery right there. Low and inside on the corner, but it'll end up being an RBI walk for Slattery. So the base is still loaded, nobody out. Now it's a 7-4 game. And we'll see if this is the night for Hicks as Damon Hacker goes out there. It looks like no, just going to be a conversation here between Hacker, Hicks, and Hayes. The Triple H game. As the Mariners try to get Hicks back in the zone here. He hasn't been too off a lot of the time, but he's just missing the play ever so slightly. He certainly he can't find the zone. That ball 4 there to the last batter certainly could have been strike 1. It just didn't go Hicks's way. It's so now 7-4, bases loaded. Hicks will remain out there as he will face Zach Schwarzenberger for this first time here today. Schwarzenberger walked his last time up and stole a base. That was the last batter that Josh Courier faced. 0-for-2 is Zach Schwarzenberger. He did reach on an error that allowed 2 runs to score back in the second, though. And that'll be low ball 1. On the 7 runs scored here today by the Monarchs, as this one is fouled off past the first base dugout, the count goes 1-1. On those 7 runs scored by the Monarchs today, if I'm reading my scorecard correctly, I cannot find one that actually scored on a base hit. It's just one of those weird days in baseball where Of course, 3 of them have scored on errors, and a couple on walks and 1 on a ground out. But there has been no RBI base hit in this game for the Monarchs. That's strike 2 now delivered, called. In the hole now, 1 and 2 is Schwarzenberger. We'll see if Hicks can't get that first strikeout and get this inning a little bit more manageable. Almost hitting Schwarzenberger there. Saw what he was trying to do, find that inside zone, see if he couldn't get him to chase the inside thing. But he almost struck him on the thigh. Count will even up now at 2 and 2, nobody out. And a 7-4 ball game with the bases loaded. Hicks now gathers. The 2-2 pitch. High and out of play down the left field line, and we'll go again at 2 and 2. Fouling it off to stay alive there was Schwarzenberger. Play on, says the umpire. Hicks will get his sign, gathers. The 2-2 pitch delivered. Fouled off towards the screen. Will hold again at 2 and 2. If Schwarzenberger will do, actually, well, unless there's a triple play, we will see Caleb Bellegarde after this. As Hicks has another 2-2 count delivering. After Bellegarde, it will be Prater and Lambeau. Nobody out, bases loaded, 2-2 pitch. It's going to be a base knock here past Van Acker, who keeps it out of the outfield and only allows 1 to score. Here comes actually 2 will score, as Acker was unable to get up from that one quickly, and it got past him ever so slightly. R.J. Williams had to come in just to get the ball in the outfield. That'll be the first RBI base hit, and it comes with 2 RBIs on the single. That's the first RBI base hit for the Monarchs here today, and one of those weird anomalies where they lead 9-4, but they've scored most of their runs on errors. And now runner on first and second, still nobody out for Caleb Bellegarde. Runner on first and second. 9-4 the ball game now. 5 base hits for the Monarchs in this one. 7 for the Mariners. Mariners have committed, well, now it says 2 errors. It said 3 errors before. They may have gone back and switched something. This one will be grounded down the third base line. It will stay fair, throwing across the horn, but the bases will be loaded as the throw is not in time. So the bases are reloaded. Still nobody out. That'll be a single there for Bellegarde. No runs across the plate, but first, second, and third all have a runner. On first, it is Bellegarde. On second, it is Griffin Mazer. And Zach Schwarzenberger is on first. Will Prater now steps in. He is 1 for 4 on the day with a single. He's grounded out and struck out here today as well. Already 3 innings here in the bottom half of the 7th. Hicks checks back. Second before delivering the first pitch. Checking his swing on the high fastball there is Prater. 1-0 now the count here to Prater. Hicks checks, and the 1-0 pitch is fouled to the screen. The count goes 1-1. Some updates from some scores around the Summer League. The Clippers now lead 11-4 up in Muskegon over the Locos. That's in the top of the 8th. Settlers lead 9-3 in Cincinnati over the Steam in the top half of the 8th. In the bottom of the 7th, Copperheads on top 6-2 over the Graders. And at the top of the 8th in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, St. Clair Green Giants at home have a 3-2 lead. Fouled off again to the screen. Count evens up at 2-2. Again, runners at every base, 9-4 the score. 13-2 that Leprechauns Green Giants score. And in Xenia, the Scouts trail 4-6 to the Joes in the bottom of the 7th. Here's a look at the standings as we run for the Summer League. In the Northern Division, the Lima Locos have a lead in the division at 23-13. That's half a game, and if they lose here today, they would actually fall, as this one now low and bouncing out in under the dirt. 3-2. Count full now here to Prater. If the Locos were to fall and the Green Giants were to win, that's what's looking like is going to happen for those 2 games, The Green Giants would take a half-game lead over the Locos. Saginaw sits in the final playoff spot in the North, 2 games back from first. Won their game today already. They are 21-15 on the season. We await the pitch from Hicks. It's going to be down the first base line, coming in, and it actually gets past the glove of Spry. And this will score another run. And we'll see if they'll rule this one an error or if it'll be a base hit. But either way, this will be the day for Mackenzie Hicks. We'll see how they rule that, but Mackenzie Hicks' day is over. We'll see who the new pitcher is on the other side of this break. This is Grand Lake Mariners Baseball live on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. By the way, that was ruled a base hit for Prater, so it's an RBI single. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Mackenzie Hicks' day ends. He's given up 4 runs right now, all of which are earned. But that is as he stands. The bases are still loaded, and all those runs would be charged if they were all to get across the plate. Those would be charged to Hicks. On the bags right now, it is on first, it is Will Prater. On second, it's Caleb Bellegarde. And Zach Schwarzenberger is the man 90 feet away from the plate on third. 10-4 the ball game now as the Mariners are trailing here, giving up 10 unanswered runs in this one after they took a 4-0 lead. The new pitcher on the mound is the Florida man, Tyler Lunicky, wearing number 1.
Number 3, Alex.
For Lunicky, he comes into today. This will be his 10th appearance on the season. He has a 5.90 ERA and 10 2/3 innings pitched, correction. 14 punch-outs, 10 walks. He's given up 3 extra base hits, which includes a home run. He's also got the leading man with saves on this team and 4 in that category. He's from Naples, Florida, but he attends Wright State, entering his final season there. That one low and inside here to the shortstop in Alex Lambo. 1-0 the count to Lambo. By the way, is 0 for 3 on the day, but had an RBI walk back in the second. 10-4 the score. Runners all aboard. 1-0 pitch here is off the bat right to Myers, who will step on third for 1, across the horn for 2, and a run will score there on the double play. So it's an RBI for Lambo. It's now 11-1, but we go from no outs to 2 outs now, and a runner on second with only a runner on second. So that's 5-3 double play as McCall took that himself to third and threw it across the horn to Spry on first. So now 2 outs for Bell, the 9th man to hit in this inning. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of walks. 11-4 the score. Lunicky looks for his sign, checks back to second before he delivers. Just a bit off the plate, and I mean not missing by much, maybe just a little bit low. Count goes 1-0. 11-4 the score now. Both those runs were charged to Hicks. He is now responsible still for the man on second. Here comes another low and inside pitch, and the count now goes 2-0. So Caleb Bellegarde is the man on second. Actually, correction, it's Will Prater on second. Bellegarde and Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger came around to score. And so did Bellegarde. Or, I'm sorry, let me correct that. Schwarzenberger came around to score. Bellegarde and then Alex Lambo were eliminated on that double play. Lambo did get the RBI, though, for batting in Schwarzenberger. It's 2-0 count now here from Lunicky to Robert Bell, the designated hitter. A couple of walks on the day. He grounded out to Hicks his last time up, and Hicks took that one himself as he ran from the mound down to grab it from the first base line. And Hicks, with a lot of speed for pitcher, stepped on the mound. That one now outside. 3-0 the count here. Lunicky missed the first two inside. Now this one is outside. He'll be trying to come back here now. And he'll see how Bell takes this next one, as it will have to be a strike. Check back to second, the 3-0 pitch. Right there on the edge of the plate. Strike one, 3-1. Tyler Lunicky at Wright State this past season had 5 appearances, 3 1/3 innings pitched, where he did not allow a run for the Huskies. And on the 3-1 pitch, I'm sorry, the Raiders aren't the Huskies, are they? I'm having a momentary brain lapse, as now that one is thrown by Bell on a swing and a miss, 3-2 count. I'm sorry, they're the Rowdy Raiders. Don't know who I was thinking about with the Huskies. Wright State Rowdy Raiders. My bad. Here comes a 3-2 pitch from Bell. It's swung on and missed. Lunicky will get the strikeout to retire the side. So Lunicky comes in. He gets himself a ground out double play, though. One run does cross the plate on that play, and then he throws it by Robert Bell to the retire the side. That'll be Lunicky's one strikeout of the day thus far. We'll now head to the top of the 8th inning, but not before the Monarchs put up a 5 spot in the bottom half of the 7th. Mackenzie Hicks went 1 inning, by the way, and official count on him is 5 runs, all of which were earned. We'll now head to the top half of the 8th. Due up for the Mariners to face Evan Floor will be Jake McCaw, Van Acker, and Steven Fitzsimmons. This is Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So Jake McCaw will now step out. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a 3-run homer back in the first. That was part of a 4-run inning for the Mariners, where they jumped out to a quick 4-0 lead. Since that, it's been 11 unanswered. McCaw has also walked and grounded out here today. He'll be followed up by Van Acker and Steven Fitzsimmons. Again, the Mariners, after they jumped out to the 4-0 lead, not quite what they were expecting in this one, but always got to look towards the positive. They've had opportunities. They've gotten base hits. They just haven't been able to score them. They actually still out-hit their opponent 7-3. There's a lot to improve on here in this game, a lot to build on. It's not like it's been all bad. In fact, there's a lot of positive to this one. That's called strike one, as it's on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. McCaw being one of those bright spots in this game. He is, again, 1 for 2 with that 3-run homer. 1-1 pitch will be fouled off past the third base dugout, and count will go 1-2 to McCaw. Jake McCaw steps back in, left-handed batter versus left-handed pitcher. Here comes the check for the sign, the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Saw a call ball earlier, but it'll be called a strike here. And so that will be the second punch-out of the day for Floor. This one will be looking, the last one was swinging Van Acker, the second baseman, will now step in, getting his third at-bat here in this one. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Popped out foul in his last time up down the first base line. Here comes the first pitch to him, taking there, strike one. It was right there at the knees, maybe a little bit on the outside corner. Count goes 0-1 to Acker. 11-4 the score here. Mariners trailing to the Monarchs on the road. Just a little bit off the plate there, ball one. Count now evens up at 1-1 to Acker. Floor, left-handed pitcher, came in relief to replace the starting Logan Schmidt, who, the starting righty, gave up 4 runs in his 6 innings pitched. That one's low, 2-1 now the count here to Acker. 4 runs in his 6 innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 4 walks, and punched out 2 batters. Floor came in to start the 7th. He got his 3 outs, though he did give up a double and a walk. He's come out now, gotten his first out, gets the call. Now Acker will appeal his swing. They say he did not go. That was certainly the right call there, though it was close. Acker definitely held up his swing. Now the count 3-1. I thought at first it might have been tipped into the glove, but instead it just bounced out of the glove of the catcher Mazer. 3-1 Acker in a favorable count. Here comes the pitch to him. He'll be taking outside, ball 4. So Acker gets aboard for the first time here today. It's via the walk here in the top half of the 8th. We are past 2.5 hours of game time here now. The sun has gone completely away. Maybe just a small slimmer of the sunset still on the horizon, but a lot of clouds in the area. The lights are on. And now Stephen Fitzsimmons 0 for 2 on the day. He'll foul this first one off and add a play down the left field line. Count goes 0-1 to Fitzsimmons. Grounded out, flown out, and walked here today. The walk came in his last at-bat back in the 6th. He's playing center field here today. Also DHs for the Mariners. He swings and tips this one. Perhaps didn't get a piece of it. I thought I heard a little tick off the bat. But anyway, either way, it's 0-2 now to Fitzsimmons. Here, Floor delivers the 0-2 pitch. Off the bat of Fitzsimmons to the second baseman, who will take it for himself for 1, or actually gives it over to the shortstop for 1, but not back to first in time as Fitzsimmons beats out the throw, so it'll just be a fielder's choice, 4-6. And there's now 2 away with a runner on first for Joshua Riggs. Left fielder, he is 0 for 2, struck out swinging his last time up. He's also walked and popped out here today. Right-handed left fielder will step in to face the lefty. Runner on first. Here comes the first pitch to Riggs. It's right there at the inside of the plate. Strike 1. 0-1 the count here to Riggs. Again, the score 11-4 here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Favor of the Monarchs. 0-1 pitch here to Riggs is popped high. It'll just leave the infield. In comes the left fielder to make the catch and retire the side. On the F7 there, Riggs goes down. We now head to the bottom half of the 8th. 11-4, the Monarchs on top over the Mariners. In this inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man was left on base. Bottom of the 8th we go, 11-4 the score. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Mariners Media Network. Tyler Lunicky comes back onto the mound for the Mariners here to start the bottom of the 8th. For the Monarchs, coming up to the plate, it will be Dyke, O'Laughlin, and Mazer due up. Lodicky getting his last couple of warm-up pitches in. No defensive changes to let you know about yet, as Dyke will take his spot. Dyke is 1 for 1 on the day with 3 walks. And he's faced now his third different pitcher in Tyler Lunicky. He was walked twice by Courier, once by Hicks, correction, and he got that single off of Courier as well.
From the University of Illinois Champaign,
He's just a man that has been elusive to Mariners pitching here today, which is just part of the game of baseball. Sometimes one guy is just having himself a really good game, and that has certainly been the case for Andrew Dyke. Lunicky delivers the first pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count now to Dyke, leading it off here for the second straight inning. He led off that 7th inning and came around to score on an RBI walk by Casey Slattery. This one will be right there on the plate. Great pitch there by Lunicky. Count goes 1-1, evened up. Some updates from some scores around the major leagues now. In the bottom of the 8th, the Pittsburgh Pirates lead 9-3 over the Cleveland Indians. Strike 2 called there. The count now 1-2 to Dyke. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, just off with the curveball there. Count goes even now at 2-2. 11-4 the score here. Cardinals and Reds down in Cincinnati are tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. The bottom of the 7th, here comes the pitch here. 2-2's fouled off by Dyke. We'll hold it 2-2. In the bottom of the 7th, Phillies trail at home against the Dodgers. 4-2 the score there. Rays down in Tampa Bay trail to the Yankees 4-0 in the bottom of the 9th. And the Diamondbacks lead 3-0 in Chicago over the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th. Final, again, the score in that one, 3-0. This pitch here from Lunicky missing the count now full, 3-2 to Dyke. 3 walks and a single on the day. 1 for 1 with those 3 walks. He's gotten aboard all 4 times. 3-2 pitch. Just off the plate, and so the elusive man he's just getting the benefit of the doubt by all calls. That was certainly a close pitch, but when you got 3 walks on the day, might as well give him number 4. And now he takes his base. That was a very good pitch by Lunicky. It's one of those where it could go either way. And so Dyke will get himself his 4th walk. He takes first with nobody out for Sean O'Laughlin. Walked his last time up, but he's 0 for 3. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Popped in foul territory as he foul tips this one, or maybe just swings and misses. Count goes 0-1. He also reached on an error back in the 2nd. That allowed the first run of 11 for the Monarchs. The score was on that error by Evan Spry back in the 2nd. This one low, ball 1. The count evens up now at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Tyler Lunicky on the mound here facing Sean O'Laughlin, center fielder, who was walked and reached on an error. He takes low, ball 1, checks his swing, or ball 2, correction, checks his swing. 2-1 the count. Again, the score 11-4 here. Mariners trailing on the road. Danger of losing their 8th straight game, but anything can happen. There's no clock in baseball. Only a score and amount of outs a team has to get. The 2-1 pitch is on the outside part of the plate, catching the zone there. 2-2 now the count here as Lunicky gets himself back to an evened up count. Nobody out, runner on first, 11-4 score. 7 hits for the Mariners, 6 for their opponents. Here comes the swing and a miss. O'Laughlin goes down swinging the first time he struck out here today. That'll be the 2nd strikeout of the day for Tyler Lunicky, and there's one away. Runner on first, 11-4 the score.
From the University of California, Irvine, the catcher, number 18,
that'll bring up the catcher, Griffin Mazer. He is officially 1 for 3 on the day, but had an RBI on a ground out back in the 5th. He singled in the 7th and came around to score. And then he struck out looking his first time up. He takes low, ball 1. Mazer came around to score on that 2 RBI single by Schwarzenberger back in the 7th. Runner on first, a 1-0 count. Lunicky delivers. This one will be swung on and missed as he just blows the heat by him. Count goes 1-1 with 1 out. Mariners will be back here in Flat Rock, Michigan tomorrow for the second of 2 games here in Flat Rock against the Lake Erie Monarchs. Strike 2 called on the outside part of the plate there. Count goes now 1-2. And again, that game tomorrow will be again here in Flat Rock at another 7:05 first pitch time. I'll be on slightly before to bring you the starting lineups, the national anthem, and a little bit of a pregame introduction. 1-2 pitch missing low, ball 2. 2-2 the count evens up now. Ludicky looks in for his sign. 1 out, runner on first. 2-2 the count. Ludicky delivers the pitch. And just got a piece of that one and sent it to the backstop right here in front of me. Count holds at 2-2. Ludicky looks in. He'll gather his pitch on the 2-2 again. Will go. He checks in, delivers. A little bit low, ball 3. The count now full at 3-2. Try to see if he could get him to go fish. But O'Laughlin just says, no, I have the card. And now it's 3-2. 1 out. Runner on first. 11-4 the score. Ludicky will gather the payoff pitch. Checking his swing, it's high, ball 4. A couple of walks now in this inning to go with a strikeout. There's a runner on first and second with 1 out. Slattery will now step in. Slattery is officially 0 for 2 on the day, grounded into a fielder's choice and grounded out to second. However, he has gotten aboard twice via the walk, one of which brought in a run. That started the scoring in that 7th inning. With the bases loaded, Hicks walked Slattery. He got himself an RBI on the walk. And the first pitch here is called a strike on the high outside corner to Slattery. 0-1 now the count. Ludicky gathers his pitch, checks back to second, the 0-1 pitch. Throws it by Slattery there, quickly in the hole now. 0-2 is Slattery. That was just a good outside and high pitch that fooled Slattery, and Slattery wanted to try to knock it out of the park. 1 out, runner on first and second. 0-2 the count here to Slattery. Check back to second. Ludicky delivers the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout there for Ludicky, his second of the game. And on the season, that's strikeout number 16. That'll bring up Schwarzenberger, the man from the University of Toledo in Saline, Michigan. By the way, for the Rockets this past season and his freshman season in the spring, as he swings and misses at the first pitch, he goes down to the 0-1 count. Schwarzenberger had 28 appearances, 19 starts. He hit .253 with 7 RBIs. He hit a home run in his first start, though. Not a bad debut for a freshman. 0-1 count here. Runner on first and second in the bottom of the 8th. It's 11-4. Ludicky delivers pitch number 2. Really high, ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Breaking news in the MLB. The Yankees agreed to deal and to acquire an all-star closer, Zach Britton, from the Orioles. Breaking news now, as this is now 1-2 count here, as that one swung on and missed by Schwarzenberger. It's a 1-2 count. Ludicky checks in. 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th inning. Runners on first and second. Ludicky gets him to chase on the high heater there. 3 strikeouts get the 3 outs in this inning despite 2 walks. They leave those 2 walks stranded. And Ludicky adds a trio of punch-outs. No runs, no hits, no errors in the bottom of the 8th. We now head to the top of the 9th, and the Mariners' last chance to get something going and mount that comeback. Anything is possible in baseball. Due up for the Mariners, R.J. Williams, Blake Crossing, and Evan Spry. Thank you for listening to Mariners Baseball on the Mariners Media Network. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. New pitcher on the mound here to try to close out this game for the Monarchs. It's not a safe situation with an 11-4 ball game, but they're still going to bring out a new pitcher to get some work in. It's Kyle Bischoff. He'll be facing up against R.J. Williams, who will lead off this inning. Bischoff coming into today in his now 7th appearance. The righty is 0-2 with a 10 ERA, 9 innings pitched. He's given up 2 extra base hits, which includes a home run, punched out 11, and walked 6. The righty returns to the mound here to try to close the door on anything. As now, first pitch to R.J. Williams is high, ball 1. Here in the top of the 9th inning, the Mariners' last chance to try to mount a comeback here as they trail by 7. They've come back from 7 before when they were down 8-1 at home against the Settlers. They came back from an 8-1 bottom of the 9th walk-off victory. They won 9-8. 1-1 count here as it's now 1-2. R.J. Williams swings and misses on the 1-1, going to 1-2. R.J. Williams, the man at Bowling Green State University in his junior season this past spring, had 39 appearances, 22 starts. He hit .288 with 3 RBIs and a .391 on base percentage. He takes low, ball 1, or ball 2 correction, 2-2 now the count here to Williams. Before Bowling Green, R.J. attended Pickerington Central High School, where he won 3 letters. He was the team's MVP in both 2014 and 15. He finished as the first team All-OCC and an All-District as a senior as well. He now has a full count as he takes low and outside, ball 3. Williams steps back in, trying to get aboard as the leadoff man for the second time here today. He takes inside, ball 4. He'll get the walk. First time RJ has walked today. He will be 1 for 3 now with a walk. He singled in his first time up. And I misspoke. That is actually the first time he gets aboard as a leadoff man. Second time he was the leadoff runner. Or the leadoff base. He was the leadoff man. He popped out to the first baseman. Late crossing switch hitter, batting left now against the righty, steps in. He takes a high inside, but it'll be on the corner, strike 1. 0-1 now the count here to Crossing. He is 2 for 4 on the day with a couple of singles. And he grounded into a fielder's choice and flew out to right his last time up. 0-1 count as Bischoff gathers and delivers low and inside. And it was lost there for a second by Mazer, but didn't get far enough for Williams to try to run. Count now 1-1, and the sign's supposed to have gotten crossed up because that warrants a visit. And there's no visit limit in this league, unlike in the majors now. Just it looks like it's going to be a lengthy conversation. But now here comes Mason to return back behind the plate. By the way, the day for Evan Floor, he went 2 innings, did not give up a run. He let up 1 hit, walked 2, and punched out 2. Mound visit is over. And the pitch. Off the bat here, it'll go right to the shortstop. R.J. Williams will get flipped over for 1. Did he stay on the bag? They say he did. It was a low throw in which the second baseman and Prater had to dive low. It might have looked like he lost his foot off the bag, but they will go ahead and say RJ is out. So 6-4 on the fielder's choice there. Crossing does reach first in time. So 1 out now here for Evan Spry. He is 2 for 4, a double and a single here today. He's got a runner on first. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's low and inside, ball 1. 1-0 now the count. 11-4 the score here in Flat Rock, Michigan in the top of the 9th inning. Bischoff delivers the 1-0 pitch. Spry takes low, ball 2, 2-0. Mentioned that a week ago Evan Spry had that 4 for 4 game that he has a first baseman. That was against the Leprechauns. Here comes a 2-0 pitch to him. It'll be called ball 3. Looked like the umpire was going to think about that one there. So that one was very close. It could have gone either way, but he calls it ball 3. 3-0 now the count. Spry will take there. That one will be called strike 1 on the outside of the plate. 3-1. So a 3-1 count. 1 out. As Bischoff delivers. The 3-1 offering is ball 4 as it misses low. So Spry will get a void on the walk. There's now a runner on first and second. 1 out for DH Chris Myers. He is officially 1 for 2 on the day with a couple of walks, a double, and he reached on an error. It was an E3 by the first baseman where it just went right through the first baseman's legs back in the 3rd. So a couple of walks, including back in the 7th, and a double. He takes ball 1. Low and inside at his shoes, 1-0. As I mentioned about Spry, that day where he was 4 for 4, he also had an RBI against the Leprechauns that day. His day will most likely end 2 for 4 with a walk. This one off the bat of Myers here and well out of play down the third base line and left field. Count goes 1-1 now to Myers. (11-4 the score. Runner on first and second. 1-1 count. 1 out. Crossing is the man on second. Spry is the man on first. Here comes the 1-1 offering. It's low. Ball 2. 2-1. Spry can get aboard. We'll see what Tyson Hayes and then Jake McCall can both do. Tyson Hayes and Jake McCall are the men who drove in all the runs here today. That one foul tipped by Myers. 2-2 now the count. It's now 2-2. 1 out. Runners on first and second. 11-4 the score. 7 hits for the Mariners. 6 for their opponents. Okay, Chris Myers, the man, or correction, Tyson Hayes, the man on deck. This one will get away here from Mazer. The runners will advance both into scoring position now as Blake Crossing now stands 90 feet away. Spry will now go to second. Count now full to Chris Myers. The umpire is going to need a reload here. Fill up his pouches for some spare balls. And we'll go again. It is Kyle Bischoff on the mound, the righty, coming in for the 9th inning. Somebody already up and throwing in the bullpen, though, for the Lake Erie Monarchs. So Bischoff may be on a tight leash here as this one's fouled out of play into the stands on down the third baseline. Count will hold full at 3-2, and we'll await another payoff pitch to a man who has gotten on the bags all 4 times here today, but one being the error, so won't count as for him, and that'll be strike 3 called as that's a knee-high fastball at the corner. There's now 2 away. The Mariners are down to their last out. That's the first strikeout for Bischoff on the night. Runner on second and third, 11-4, and now Tyson Hayes will now step in. He scored the Mariners. He drove in the Mariners' first run, which was Blake Crossing on a sacrifice RBI. That'll be ball 1 low to Hayes. Sacrifice RBI fly to Hayes for Hayes in that inning. Jake McCall followed that one up, who Jake McCall now stands on deck. He followed that up with a 3-run homer. 1-0 pitch. This one will get away, so Blake Crossing will go ahead and cross on the wild pitch there. So now it's 11-5, and the Mariners are back within 6. A wild pitch scores Blake Crossing, the second time he has crossed the plate here today. It's now 11-5, and it's a 2-0 count here to Hayes. Right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher. 2 outs, 2-0 count. Also on that play, Spry advanced over to third. That'll be called strike 1 there as it just catches the outside part of the plate. Two 2-1 the count here. 2 outs. Bischoff delivers the 2-1 pitch. Off the bat, it shatters the bat. Scooped up there by the third baseman and tossed across the horn to retire the side and end the game. 5-3 the play there. That one splintered the handle of the bat. There's not much remaining of it. And it retires the side and ends the game. Final score, 11-4 here. The Mariners do get 1 to cross the plate on no hits, no errors, and 1 man was left on base. Well, it wasn't the Mariners' night. They got out to a quick 4-0 lead in the top of the first, but then they allowed 11 unanswered runs, a lot of which were unearned. There was a total of 4 unearned runs, so 7 were earned, 4 of which were not. Just one of those days, one of those things where a lot of baseball moments happened, and it just didn't go the Mariners' way in this one. But there's always tomorrow. Got to look forward. You don't look behind. You look back towards the future. You just keep playing ball. We're all out here to have some fun and just keep reps going throughout the summer, and that's what the Mariners will continue to do as we return to Flat Rock tomorrow. It's another 7:05 start. That will conclude my broadcast here today. But before I go, I'm going to send out a couple of thank yous. First, I'd like to thank the entire Grand Lake Mariners staff for allowing me to broadcast their 42-game season. In particular, I'd like to thank Kevin McGowan, the GM of the Mariners, for specifically signing me on for my internship to get my credit, the experience, and just the wonderful joy of broadcasting each and every game with the Mariners through the ups and downs of this season. I'd like to thank my host family as well as every other host family from around the Great Lakes Summer League for providing the Mariners team and staff places to stay throughout the summer, providing meals, being so hospitable. Thank you guys. You're so important to this season. We could not do it without you. And lastly, everybody who makes this season happen around the league, from providing the places to broadcast, to play, to making the schedule, and all that goes into making this wonderful season happen. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Again, 7:05 first pitch time. A little bit briefly before I will be bringing you the pre-game, the lineups, and the anthem. That game will be back here in Flat Rock against the Lake Erie Monarchs. And the final score once again here was 11-5 in favor of the Monarchs here at home against the Mariners. They have dropped 8 straight now, but always tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I'm Donovan Mann saying have a wonderful night and go Mariners.